Yeah, I'm watching.
Hold up.
I was gonna say, we're doing a watch along or something because I know you shared your screen and nothing was really popping off.
Okay, so, but like I said, we already did it. This is an update for you guys. So we're like I said, we already know with me. And remember, so wait, Jay, you're gonna be there in the birthday bash for my birthday on the 25th.
25th. Yeah, I gotta get a fork though, because I open that day.
Oh, don't worry. Like I said,
I'm gonna be dealing with people in Call of Duty too. So.
Fair enough. But regardless, you guys already know the only, like I said, we've seen in the channel up Silent Hill videos. I want to talk about that. That was just to go off of what Jay was saying, because I really, oh dude, I mean, look at this game. It looks better than anything that's come out the past 10 years. Like artistically, it's just too strong. It didn't inspire me. It helped me to get a style for my game and shit. But this mini date is like, I will give mini div update. We already talked about the thing later, but honorable. It says this is also honorable that he didn't tell that he got to see. We spent 6 hours doing stuff about my game and stuff. Is that not correct, honorable?
Yes, it is.
And he got to listen to my jams. And Vile and honorable, what are your guys' thoughts on the juke jams for my game?
Was I there for that?
No, some of it. You remember you were like, oh no, low key. You were like, no, this shit cooks. Do you remember? I was showing you some beats.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, fair.
But honorable. No, go ahead.
Honorable.
Yeah, honorable.
No, go ahead.
No, please.
God damn it, Vile, you just go.
I don't know what else to say.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, but honorable.
I mean,
Oh no, go ahead. Okay.
No, I was just saying, if I had commented before, I'm gonna just keep with that comment. That's all
right. Okay, fair enough. And then honorable, you can agree. You heard largely where I'm going with it, because I showed just some tracks, but honorable has seen more or less the entire direction that I'm going. Because it's very hard to explain what's going on with my game, because I can't give too many information. But honorable has seen the spectrum, because I said I'm gonna do rock, jazz, pop, like all kinds of shit. And honorable, now I showed you, and there's some more stuff. What are your thoughts on the soundtrack for the game?
I've already told you my thoughts.
Yeah, but tell the audience.
It's a vision. It is actually it is a timeline of a vision.
And didn't you? And not only that, did a single track? Not a single one missed.
One of them missed, but I added it. I added it immediately because I was like, dude, I need that in my life right now.
Yeah, true. And here you go. You're saying listen. So here's 2 tracks. All of you are here listening to it, right? So here's one. You guys get to see a preview, and this is fun. The funny thing is, I mean, some of these are original. So the way this works is an AI thing. It's helping me. Some of these I already made myself, right? And then from there, I just kind of do sampling. I won't get too into the works, but here's one. You guys get one that I made and one that I'm going to get from an indie Japanese artist. By the way, big shout outs to
you made these songs?
Yes. These.
Okay.
But no, I will show you. So this is basically a track. You guys hear a bit.
So shout out to who?
Indie artist.
I feel like you stole this from Tekken.
No, not even. That's actually Tekken was not the inspiration for this. So there you go, So yeah, this is actually, and the thing is, it puts things. But I'm actually I was researching into smooth jazz and of course electronica, whatever. So what are your guys' thoughts on this one? Thoughts?
Like I said, I thought it was second. I honestly.
All right, Litton. Is he there?
What happened?
Oh, wait. Oh, did you hear the song or no?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay, what were your thoughts?
That's cap.
You like it?
Honestly, it reminded me of some older RPG games.
You know what's funny? Some of these songs do I get vibes on this. And here's one more. This one I already made, by the way. These tracks will be up. I will post them up soon. Actually, I just gotta do some mixing and shit.
Another question.
Yeah, sure.
It's reminding me how much I want to go back and play some Grandia.
True. And so this one I made already. I made this on my PS3, by the way. So this is the PS3 version. You guys see that? It's a menu song basically. And it's a lot of build up.
A lot of build. That's a 40-second build up. I'm not gonna spend my menu. I'm not gonna spend 40 seconds in a menu.
But if it's customization,
true.
And then here's the remix version. And so that's the other thing in here. It remixes some of my stuff for me. But is it not true?
Like I'm in Hawaii.
Is it not a vibe? Everyone agrees this is a vibe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot to ask you, Mard. What were your thoughts on this song and the last one?
Definitely softcore porn.
No? But okay, this one at least. What are your thoughts?
Favorable menu music.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Honestly, that sounds like the main select theme of a fan-made Toho game.
I don't know what Toho is, but we will take that. We will definitely take that. And you guys, like I said, we'll post other stuff, whatever. But now here is a character select theme that I already have in mind, and I've looked into the indie artists and everything, I definitely want to contact them. They're actually from Japan. They're mega niche, unknown as fuck. And you guys tell me how much. See, Honorable lost his shit, and he lost his shit as me. So I don't know if you guys are ready for this to be a goddamn character select thing.
Why he's muted? Because he's about to lose it again.
3.
I'm gonna lose it again, man.
2,
I'm actually...
1.
I feel like I'm in the lobby waiting for a King of the Hill match to end so I can take my turn and fucking take over the hill.
I feel like I'm in Yakuza on one of that, what is it? Like, one level where you, like, chat with females?
I mean, yeah, and the funny thing is, like, and by the way, the art style for the menus can be black and white. I already have an idea how I want it, and all this whatnot, and even the character portrait gave me a good inspiration. But yeah, this is gonna be. I listened to the song for an hour straight. This spit too much bars for an unknown indies artist.
Damn.
I lost my shit, man.
This sounds like it could be a level in fucking No Straight Roads.
Dude, no, they were
So
cooking.
wait, hold on, Grace. Do you remember my description of this?
Vaguely.
It was like it's the Persona song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like to me like this was like a spiritual successor to like Persona 1's School Days.
Yeah. Regardless, there you go. I am definitely looking. That is like, so some songs, if I make them, obviously it's in the game. Other ones, depending, I'll contact the indie artist and its likelihood. But that one is a huge priority. I like it way too much. Like, it actually spits too much bars. But with that being said, that's enough to screen share. That's mini update, and more will be later on. But what are your thoughts? Jay, you didn't say much. I know Mar definitely said, but that's gonna be a character.
No, I was absolutely like, I'm trying to think of like, it does have a Persona-esque vibe to it, but I do like that. Like it was like
It bops.
I forget which track it was from 5. I'm thinking of. I can't think of it on top of my head. I think it was like when you so you know the safe zone, the safe zones when you're in Persona 5, when you're in the mementos. You're in a specific castle and there's those safe zones. Like, it reminded me of that. But I do love the
vibe,
the composition of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
electronic jazz.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing too. Yeah, they're apparently very big into jazz, whatever. And by the way, it's also a theme for one of the characters. She's female, and Litton already knows. It's like the counter hit carry character I mentioned before. Litton. And
Yeah.
he agrees. And yeah, no, like I said. And by the way, when the menus can have like a black and white theme, people wear suits. It has a very classy. The song fits. It's the character theme again. Suits that they're like agents, but it's primarily the main theme for the main lead chick. And by the way, do you guys want to watch so many characters? Because, like I said, remember, there's the main one, which is the isekai, and in each character, the female chick, she has her own story mode and own thing, and it's gonna have her own character select and whatnot. And every now and then, if it fits a certain thing, we might hear it in a fight or some bullshit. Like Blaze Blue does it too. Like, you see the intro song, but then when you're at the end of the campaign, the intro song plays because it hypes you up. Some shit like that. But regardless, we all agree, all of us here, that shit slapped, right? Like, we agree that shit slapped, right?
In order of the greatest gamer group, I will say that slaps.
Mar? He's dead. Mar,
Are
you there?
my bad. I'm sorry.
If anything, Litton, your thoughts, did it slap?
Of course.
And Jay definitely likes this one. Oliver already knows it slaps. Now we're just waiting on Mar. Mar, you there? I need the final approval. If not, I'm gonna die and then I disappear because I failed.
Yeah, simply perished.
Yeah. Because one of my main goals outside of something vibe, this and that. Like I said, I actually trying to find actual like jazz like musicians I can find, specifically smooth jazz, not regular jazz. There's a difference. But my main goal, one of my things is I wanted my soundtrack to slap. That way, even normally, you see, we have the joke like with Guilty Gear, like, oh man, a soundtrack game with a game where like, say you're playing and then they hear that, like, imagine that, and then you're playing character, then there's a normie, like some chick's like, yo, what the, like, damn, that's some good ass music, you know what I'm saying? Like, so to me, a priority is that the shit slaps above all else. Because having some music, like I said, just look at Tekken, the music's way better than the fucking game.
Big facts.
Yeah. But Mar, are you there? I think he's dead.
The dog. It's probably the dog.
Fair enough. All right, no hate.
Where is my Grandia 2 disc?
But thank you very much, you guys, for the critique. But yeah,
No,
we kind of
thank you
need
for
more
sharing.
for the Dragon Ball thing. I guess I'll go off on it then. So that'll be the.
Just start it off and he'll pick up in the mid.
True. But you guys did hear about that, right? That everyone was bitching that apparently.
It's too hard.
Yeah, no. He's back.
Don't be a bitch.
Oh, you're back, Mar. Were you gone or am I stupid?
Oh no, I was gone for a little bit, letting the dog out.
Yeah, no,
I
mean,
knew it. I
no.
called it.
Oh, no, all I was asking before because I said thing that you thought it slapped, right? You thought the song slapped.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then that's like I said. The main thing I was getting is what matters to me primarily is that the song slaps above all else. That way, even normies could be like, "Damn, oh, you know what I'm saying?" When I hear people like you pop, like, "Oh man, what's this song? This is from a game. Damn, this song slaps."
Man, people don't realize the importance of like a good soundtrack when you're playing a game. Actually, is very helpful. Like
Right.
you'd be surprised. Like
Mm.
a lot of games that people play, like they recognize the song damn near instantly. That and it's usually from a game that they especially love. So
Right.
it is what it is.
Like I said, the menu music's all what it is, but like I said, there are people who are way better composers than me, and they get to be the spotlight, right? Like those songs, like, oh, you're going like, what can I help you? You know, you're going through like a bar or something. That's where my menu music is. But when someone's slapping, I'm like, either it's a character theme, it's a boss theme, or some bullshit, but that shit slaps.
Yeah,
anyways,
that's a pretty big
here's the way to put
bro.
it. Mini video game. Usually I send this to the end, but Litton and Honorable, you guys already know I have my own isekai. And the funny thing is, the reason I'm doing this is because I will go with the trend. But you both agree, you've heard it. Is my isekai not cooking?
Bro, that shit literally has parts like JoJo. Like, are you kidding me?
Well, regardless, Litton, you heard the premise of my isekai and you agree.
No, I'm
no,
saying that's how
that-
fucking long and like overly detailed it was.
As it should be.
As
It
it should be.
If
So
you're
here-
gonna make anything, it needs to come with a
If you're gonna
plan.
make a story, you might as well make a banger.
So
That's
here
my
we
I'm
go.
not going
Let's
to
go.
tier elements. Sum it up.
But actually, you know, I think we may wait. Should we wait for? I mean, Mars here. You know, files, whatever. But Jay, are you ready to hear the premise of the isekai segment of the gameu that I am thinking of making in like a year or two, right? Which I'm working on. Yes.
Sure.
So here's the way it works, and this is game. See, it all makes sense because you are in the character select screen. You pick between boy, girl, and then from there you can pick, okay, what was your previous occupation? And anyone smart enough, that means, oh, so you're actually reincarnated, and it could be fireman, whatever, and then there are stats, right? Think about it. My custom character customization probably doesn't exist. There's just base level, you could choose whatever, and if you get deeper, you can actually go down to genetics, like, oh, what type of muscle fibers you are, slow or fast twitch. Again, that's why it's called advanced, if you actually know this shit. You could pick your height, and there's advantages, like in Dragon's Dogma. If you are a smaller height, you can fit in certain places. So we're taking a very Dragon's Dogma approach to the RPG elements, right? Like, look at how much thinking there's already, and same if you are a healer. Okay, I'm gonna be a healer, but I'll be telling means you can probably carry more weight. And if because you're a nurse or something, now you get a boost when you use bandages. You can actually use it more efficiently. You don't have to waste as much wrap bandages. And you say if you're a healing magic, now you get a boost when you do it. So you will be like, you can min-max it, but then say you could do what you want. Like the world is your oyster, and even there will be segments in the start of the map that you can access somewhere. We're gonna have a Deus Ex approach. Like, oh, here's a boulder in the way. I could either try to go through the river, but it's too cold. So you could do one of two things. We have someone that used to be a lumberjack. He could cut down these trees. He knows how to get everything, so we could make a bridge. Or we can have someone that has fire magic, and he could burn the water, so you can actually pass through and not freeze to death. Or we can have someone that's actually super strong and can break the rock. There are multiple ways to solve many situations. There will never be one way. And that's how the map is going to be designed around. It's not going to be big. We're not going to having a super big open world. Like the developer of Deus Ex said, instead of having you can either have a map that's an inch deep but a mile wide, or a mile deep but an inch. I'd rather have a map that's an inch wide but a mile deep. And I'm having that philosophy. Like where you start your hub is basically an island, and your whole purpose is to try to get out of that island to get to the mainland, and that's where actual shit. Yeah, and the thing is, there are little elements in that island that you're in that kind of forbade, and you do this. You don't know why you're even reincarnated. You just know you're fucking there, and everything's very fucking vague, and a lot of it's left for you to discover. Even they'll and then know this much. And not big spoiler, but it's right there. There'll be fog, whatever, music build up, and they'll see like basically like a rip off Stonehenge. And in there are different elements of our past previous society. And mind you, and right now I won't spell too much, and that's the point of it, right? So maybe it could be Fallout where it's not really an isekai and it's actually the old world, but I won't explain it. And you see, oh, there's elements you can't get in. There's an invisible force field. And then later on, you'll see notes in the little fake village, like in the center. You could tell like, oh, it's almost like lodge, this and that, but some of it's not finished, and because it's a tutorial to teach people how to actually use elements. Like, oh, this is how you use a knife. This is how you sharpen it. Things like that. And because the whole point is like, I want you to be interested. We leave just enough to make you ask questions, and then most of the stuff that's left there is tutorials, but it's left in a realistic way how someone will leave it. So okay, we know someone was here before, and they're trying to guide us to get off this island. And then once you get to certain parts, okay, the force fields go down, and guess what? It's literally dungeons, and it's the shape of an Aztec pyramid. And in there you can go, okay, there's a first one, and you have your skeletons. And the thing is, because remember, this is also a fighting game, so a lot of it's let me teach you how to do fighting game mechanics. Here's your square combo, so you're in the first floor. Here's a boss, and second, each level is a representation of you getting better and better at the fighting game. And then the funny thing is, the way it starts is the first floor, or the first level of the first floor is always gonna be static. Then after that, it'll be RNG. Then the final boss level will always be static. So it'll be static, RNG, static, and it'll be that for like 3 to 4 floors. And again, have your generic enemies, and it'll be easy because most people, well, oh, smash square. And the game too, on top of that, depending if you know how good you are at fighting games, you can pass by it faster. But people starting, they're gonna be focused on the numbers game, right? So that's what I mean. So literally, it's an isekai where are you a Chad in real life? You could probably do it. So if you guys are fighting game players, you're already the Chad. Like, you are the One Punch Man already, but you earned being the One Punch Man in my game. You know how to do Electric Wing Godfist. That's the other thing. A lot of things will be secret. At some point in the notes in the cabinet, like, so when you get stuff, you win. There'll be a cabinet right there where that Aztec temple is, which is our dungeon. And mind you, look at how creative I'm taking the approach to dungeons. It's actually, and there'll be elements. Oh, where you're healing, it's actually a Japanese place where you actually put water to heal yourself, and that's the healing thing too. So we're combining elements of IRL with like the way, and the magic system, I won't get too into it how that is, but that's the setup for my isekai world, right? And again, I won't say too much, or I'm not even getting into what are, and this is the thing I haven't answered. Are there actually people on the mainland? For how long? What's the culture? Everything, all that. I won't get into because that's, I mean, honorable, and definitely Lynn already know that much past far, but you guys don't know, and that won't be until the game after, because first of all, it's focusing on you getting your abilities, because that's how any game should be. It's the beginning, like, oh, let's get you interested in the lore, because nothing is worse than let's just drip feed you all this lore and text. Like, no one gives a shit. You have to give them a reason to give a fuck. You're like, okay, why am I here? Whatever. You have to leave intrigue, but just enough. You give them, okay, here's this. Like, every time when you're answering a question, they should have more questions than they were actually answered. It's that kind of approach, right? And like I said, when you go to that little chest, you always get your little, like, say you beat some skeleton king, and then the cabinet will even glow to show you can get into it all here. And sometimes, depending if you finally find your class, it's kind of the Monster Hunter approach, where if you wanted, you can midway, like, you know what, I don't like being a medic axe. Oh, I could do this, right? So a very flexible approach in the beginning, right? And then they'll show you, oh, if you press down, forward, and then you press square, you could do like your that's how, by the way, that's how we'll do magic spells and stuff. It'll be motion inputs. And I think that's far more rewarding, and I'm still trying to get into, I think, what motion inputs go with certain spells and shit like that. But regardless, I won't get into it, but that's the premise of what we're going so far for these. And mind you, I didn't want to do any
you're
isekai.
gatekeeping players by doing motion input.
Fuck off. And the funny, and that's the thing. Like I said, if someone knows how to do Electric Godfist, and they just do it, and they put the right attributes, here, basically, and then like, bro, you basically kind of beat the first half of the game, Loki. But yeah, I put a lot of thought into this, as you guys can tell. And mind you, remember, I originally never wanted to do an isekai, and I never wanted to do custom characters, because those are never things I wanted to do. But I'm doing them because, again, compromise, right? I gotta compromise. If I want my game to be marketable, what's hot? Isekais. And at the end of the day, like, here's the thing that someone said: I didn't care for Nioh, one of the greatest games of all time, but I cared way more for Nioh 2 because it has custom characters. At the end of the day, we live in it sucks, but I have to go to them. That's what my fighting is about. I'm gonna have it where squares are, modern controls are gonna be the average, right? Not that many, if anything, there might not be an Electric Wing Godfist in this game or whatever. That's later. Right now, I'm more focused on the people who've never played a fighting before. How can I properly teach you how to learn a fighting game through the story mode, which is something apparently no one wants to fucking do. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I need to do to get people into the fighting game genre, right? So I guess I have to have custom characters, even though you don't fucking want to have them. Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to do an isekai, because that's the thing right now. And the thing is there even any isekai games? Like, actual, not half of an anime, those are garbage, but like an actual fully fledged isekai game? I don't really think so. It's always just fantasy, if I'm being honest. And if you can make it good and trick people into playing a fighting game, we got this. Imagine people playing, oh man, I like this isekai fighting game. No, I'm gonna go play Tekken or Street Fighter because they got introduced because of this shit, I mean, I feel like it went a bit off, but regardless, I mean, I don't know. What's your thoughts, Jay, from what little you did here of the isekai premise? And by the way, that's not the whole game. That's just the custom character segment of it. That makes sense, because there'll be like I said, there's gonna be historical parts. Like, you'll play as a gunslinger from whatever era. That's his story mode. Then you have someone from this, because they're all different things. We're doing the Marvel approach. If you guys don't know Marvel's first original comic issues, here's the issue where they're in space. Here's an issue where you got Punisher or some bullshit. Like, they were unrelated things, and that's what I'm doing, a similar process, because I love things like sci-fi. I love fantasy. I love historical. So it's like, let me flex all these different things. And by the way, they have nothing to do with each other. Like, so if you like westerns but don't care for anything, you could just play my game and play the western part. If you like sci-fi, you can play the sci-fi part. If you're an isekai person, which I'm assuming most people will be, you guys can play that. And if you're interested, you can play my rip-off Assassin's Creed medieval version. That will be for you Souls players, so you guys will like that one. So if you're a Souls motherfucker. And by the way, fun fact, if you play one of the other main campaigns, you can take some of those things you learn and then put it in the isekai. So like I said, very, very flexible thing, it's a lot of thought process. And yeah. But anyways, what are your thoughts, Jay?
Not a lot at the moment.
Fair enough.
Because this is my first time hearing about it.
Yeah. I mean, I can show you the map.
I do like the premise of it, because not a lot of fighting games does. Well, if they do, they don't do it well. Where it's like they try to teach people how to play said game, and there are certain games who do it okay. There's others that do it pretty well. Like, for example, I like Tekken's arcade mode, because Tekken arcade mode, they like regardless of what character you choose, they'll tell you like, oh, by the way, this is what a crush counter is. This is your heavy. This has armor. This is what you should do in this situation. This is an optimal combo, right?
Right.
And it tells you that right off the bat, right? So it'll let you know, it's like, hey, because you want to play this character, let me teach you some tech that only this character would be capable of doing in certain situations. And I love how they literally teach you that as you progress through the like arcade mode. Like, sure, it's an arcade mode, it's not like main story, but at least it's like something that allows you to like build up and work towards, you know, being a decent Tekken player.
Right. True.
And you know, depending on like, you know, what, like how you always say, like you lab the matchups, you lab every single thing about your character, so that way you're not just pressing, you're not just learning, you know, what the game taught you, you're actually learning fighting games and learning the techniques.
Right.
Tekken is always like it's a weird, it's a very, very weird, I almost say niche type of fighting game, because it's a 3D fighter, and so it's not like your typical fighting games where it's like you have your light heavies and your light mids and heavy. It's your, you know, every single button is a limb, right? So anything could be a light, anything could be a heavy, anything could be a mid. So it doesn't really teaches you the fundamentals of an actual fighter. But I do like what you're doing with it, where it's like, you know, you know, pretty much it's like, you know, you know, it's like, oh, you know, how do you bake a cake, my nigga? You get eggs, you get baking powder. You like, it teaches you, okay, add this first, then add this. Only if you encounter this, then you do said option.
Right. So to further expand on that too, I talked about it with Mark before, and he knows it, that we're doing the Zelda approach, right? You don't just simply give them all tools. You're like, here's the sword. You cut. Oh, it cuts grass. You know, you will. That's why I say. You can say. So here's how it is. You will be introduced to a mechanic at the beginning of the thing. Like, oh, here you go. Here's your normals, and then the enemies, like, they'll be designed like a good example where there won't be lows for a good amount of it. I'll still decide, contemplating if I want to add and more buttons introduced. Like right now, like say if you're a beginner, most of it's thought from the process of a beginner, right? Like this one button, you get introduced to the second button in the second floor, right? Things like that. That's why it's beginning is here's a puzzle, figure it out with the mechanics you're given. Then the rest is just a giant training session of you finding the same skeleton enemies, and you're mainly grinding, right? Because they're the, you know, XP, whatever. See, and the game shows you XP, but you are practicing muscle memory. Like, I know that this is the distance for the normal, you know, oh, whatever, right? And a good example, let's say, and there'll be different ones. Say you're like, oh, I'm a water user or some bullshit. You can only go to this specific part of the dungeon, and then, like you said, oh, then you learn this specific style. Okay, this is how you water bend to get this puzzle solved, right? And that's why people will have a unique experience. And on top of that, I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning of the game, we'll ask you, have you played any other fighter before, right? And then it'll ask, okay, I have a giant list of almost every fighter, all of them, whether it's Dragon Ball, Budokai, Naruto, whatever. And then the button scheme will go to that, and then from there, again, like maybe some of the beginning dungeons will be easy for you because you have all the tools. That's what I'm saying. Like if you are a Naruto player, you could probably get through the first 2 dungeons, no problem. So it's just you clapping, and it'll be fun because you get to have that. You know what I'm saying? Like the cool thing about being overpowered to a degree is like, oh man, look at me, I'm beating all these skeleton and whatever, and then you can finally get, okay, cool. Now let's teach you how to do this, and that's why quarter circle won't get introduced until later floor, because that is a very hard concept, right?
Okay, here's the thing that I like the premise of it, but one of the things that does scare me is the fact of like, oh, like, you know, you're selecting from an entire list of different FGC, you know, like, you know, different
non-FGC too,
right?
Everything,
you know, and non-FGC, right? But it's the situation of the button skin, because we don't want to have another modern control issue. And
we're not having that.
It's like if I have standard, right? You know, if I have standard, you know, like light, heavy, you know, light, medium, heavy, right, where it takes really, really good like execution in order to like pull off those combos, whereas like some niggas are running around with fucking instant okies or one button electrics. Like, we don't want to like get into it, because Budokai has that feature by standard.
True.
In there, right? Like there's a standard dodge button, right? Like in order for me to dodge shit, I have to hit back twice and down within a span of like 5 frames in order to do a Korean backdash. Whereas in Dragon Ball, you literally press one button and it immediately dodges for a time.
Right. So
and even in older Budokais.
So what's fun is, what I'll tell you is the approach to balancing. First of all, I don't give a shit about balancing at all, because I want to do the Dragon Ball approach. No, don't give me a minute.
Okay.
We're doing Dragon Ball, like, see, and this is why you shouldn't be worried. So if you're picking, like I said, there'll be either you don't know, and the game will teach you from the ground up. We'll do anime buttons, right? The default is going to be A, B, C, the classic square, triangle, circle. So say you're picking Naruto controls. Okay, square is going to be your attack button, and now you know circle is your special button, right? Like that's what it is. Like, oh, that's, you know, usually used first, but then triangle will be left alone. Like, it's okay, whatever, because then they will eventually, you know what I'm saying? It's all modified. How do we get the control scheme you're used to? You know what I'm saying? Because it's muscle memory for them. They know that square, the main focus is what are you used to do? Even if you're a COD player, we're going to make our one attack. You know what I'm saying? The scheme is purely It's there as a basis. But here's the thing why you shouldn't be worried. The way the game's balancing works for the most part is in 3 tiers: low, medium, and high. And it's all variant on your control scheme. So if someone is basically, say you're a Naruto or maybe Dragon Ball player or whatever, right? Let's assume the character you're using is going to be inherently bottlenecked. The way the game works is the harder the character is, the stronger they are. So if you are, say, a Mishima player, and you know how to do a proper Electric Wing God Fist, your character canonically, stats and everything will be much stronger than anyone who picks. And this is the thing too with how balancing, because custom characters are hard to balance. The highest you can go is maybe like halfway through level 2, right? Like remember, level 1 and level 2 in a sense. All the characters that are built from the story, they will either be level 2 or 3. And that's the thing. Like you could be the strongest custom character however you want, but you will never be able to touch any of the main characters of the cast because you're not a main character. That's another lesson I want to have in there, is that you are not the main character of the story. You are just simply a background part. That's something that I think that a lot of people need to hear, and again, it'll be a subtle theme throughout when you're playing. Like, okay, yeah, like, oh, you're important, everything. Like, yeah, you're important, but you're not the main character. What makes you important is the little steps that you play, and that's what I want to convey. That's why it's super co-op heavy. That all of you are important together, not by yourself. And again, it's what you're doing now may not seem important in the scheme of things. And I think humans need to hear that a lot more. Like, what makes us strong is not as an individual, but as a group. And that's something that I really want to emphasize with that. And with that custom, But yeah, basically, long story. So you can make the most OP. Let's say you got the best gear from because there'll be. I also do want to do it like just because it'll keep people. It'll be some MMO-ish, so people can grind and get better loot gear. Oh, every time you're just trying to get gear, oh, this is +1. But you being +1 is not gonna touch if you're playing the main character from the game and they're like +100. By the way, frame data changes too depending on your character. So if someone's using a boxer from the main story, he's going to be +15, and you're never going to be plus against him because it's a proper fighter. So that's why you don't have to worry about that kind of balancing and shit, because at the end of the day, characters that are like the actual characters from my story are going to be prioritized far more than any custom character. That's what, because again, I knew what people will play online. It's going to be a nightmare to try to balance custom characters. I said, fuck it. We just inherently cap them. There's an actual physical, like level 100. That's as high as they can get. And maybe they can get some gear or something, but that's about as good as they can get. And frame data wise, like depending, remember how I said we're doing the Dragon's Dharma poach, which is true. Basically, if you want a top tier in the game, I'll tell you right now, you have to be a heavyweight class, because that's how real life works. Pick male, pick heavyweight, you're the top tier, because that's how real life fighting works. Unless you're really fucking good and you pick, let's say you pick, just to be in character, I'm gonna pick an old dude and he's Asian, and then you're just cooking. But here's the thing, you have to be good as fuck. Like, you're out here doing perfect elixir. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's an immersive quality, so that's why don't worry too much. And most people won't. And that's the funny thing too, is that I noticed many normies normies really hurt themselves. The whole point is we have to carry an experience to make it fun, whatever. And like, you know what I'm saying? The custom character is there for them. Like I said, it's hard for them to pick a character. It's like, no, you're making the character, so you make them however you want, and then you will make the game mold around you. We talked about this before, because that's a very approachable design for people to get in. But if they want to get good at the game, you have to pick a designated character. You can't just have your zoner grappler. Like, no, you have to get this dedicated zoner or dedicated grappler. And as you see, they have much better stats because they're dedicated. Like, this dude's command grab is way better than yours. Like, another good example, we're taking its immersion. If you say you're picking, like I said, your nurse or whatever, lumberjack, and you go up against our rip-off king, you will not be able to break any of his throws. They will all command grabs. You just can't break them because you're not a wrestler. You don't know how to throw. You don't know how to reversal. You don't even get a throw. And same, if you face another grappler, there is no command grab. Every throw is techable or reversible, and there's an entire meta around that. That's why I've actually been doing a lot of research, far more about wrestling and whatnot. I was even learning about parries, how they work in boxing. And fun fact, you guys, like I said, someone who loves parries in real life do not work at all like they do in video games. Very, very fun, interesting fact, guys. So I've been having fun with that when boxing. There's actually like 3 different versions of parries. I was like, wait, what? There's 3? Oh shit! And there's actually like a risk reward to them and situations to use them. And again, that's why I want to make it that someone's a boxer and they make up their boxer, and immediately the game rewards you for picking the boxer. Like, say a skeleton's the thing, you could do like, oh, here's the flicker parry or some bullshit, and then the game lets you do it. And you would say like those people will dominate because they actually know how to fight. The biggest problem in fighting games why people suck is most people do not know how to fight. So how can we teach you how to actually find the fundamentals like footsies, this and that? And you got to go to them. Let's give you your wizard or whatever. And even then, you don't have to. Maybe you just want to be a support character. I also want to mention this. At the end of the day, games are meant for fun. So say you're a boxer dude. This happened. The local dude was a whole boxer dude. He picked Steve. I helped him with some stuff. His girlfriend isn't a fighter at all, but she loves Alyssa. And yeah, that's his girlfriend. Of course they're going to play together. I want to make it to where the sweat dude, who's an actual boxer, yo, here's your boxer, your girl. I want to be a cute wizard girl that heals you. say no more, and we can do that. You know, I want to make a genuine experience. And again, I want to make it to where the waifu can actually sit here and have a good time. Like, you know, they beat the cave and everything. They could hug and they're like, oh my, you know, the girl can genuinely have a good, and before you know it, now we have someone else that's a fan of the IP. And that's something that I can't stress enough, is that companies, they get to buy, look at Halo, like, oh, let's look at MLG. When I personally seen a girlfriend that was going to buy Halo for her boyfriend, but the second she found out they didn't even have co-op, she's like, I guess we're not playing then. Look at that, bro. Like, it's crazy. I want to appeal to the actual majority, not the minority, which, by the way, is going to be cool in the game. When, like, say you die, majority over the minority is something that I'm gonna randomly have. Because at the end of the day, these are the core of what makes the FGC. That's why you see this message. So it's funny. It's a reverse too. It's gonna apply not just to the normies, super normies, that hey, you're not that important. You're MLG. You need to realize that you can't just have an OP character. Like, if you want to, you have to earn it and work with it. Mechanics, not through let me grind it, because that's stupid. That's the problem with too many people play RPGs. They think, oh, let me just get numbers. Let me put money, right? Like, no. In the FGC, no, you gotta earn it. You gotta sweat blood and tears and actually fucking get good, right? Same with the sweats, is that's why there won't be that much. I'm trying to figure out how I would do it for them, is that this isn't about you right now. We need to help them. Your job as a sweat and an MLG is to help the little people up so they can understand the beauty of the FGC. Because it's something that's always just bothered me. I just, whatever. But that's the whole thing. So yeah, the balancing thing, I'm not that worried as far as PP. And also, PvP is not even going to be my focus, honestly. Like, it'll be there, but the game will not highlight it. It'll highlight the party modes, it'll highlight the side modes, and it'll highlight the co-op modes. Like, you know how in PvEs, like how that one game where they go pew pew, the Sony one that's on Steam, I forgot what it's called, Starfield or some bullshit, not Starfield, Star Troopers, I think, or some shit. Because I think we need more PvEs. We need more PvE games, you know. And even if you do say, oh, you guys, all of us, we'll play, I call it boss versus minions or some bullshit. You pick Kazuya, and everybody picks their custom character because you're just that much better, and you're gonna lose, right? Because it's 10 versus 1. That's the message, that a group will always be the one. And we see this all the time. The villain is always way better than the main character. Why does the main character win? The power of friendship. And we're gonna have that literally right there. I don't care that you're Daigo or me doing Electric Wing Godfist command grabs. You're gonna lose to 10 people jumping on you, even if they all suck and only press square. That's 10 people, dog.
Yep. Jump jutsu. Yep.
Yeah, but you guys, and I think it's a good message that we all need. Like, the sweats and the normies need to shake hands and be like, we need each other. I think that's something we really fucking need. You know, because we can sit here and do ya all we want, but if we're saying, oh, why does no one play Tekken? Why does no one? Why did Street Fighter get, like, yeah, because it has an action offline mode. Because at the end of the day, people want to play games to have fun. They need to, you gotta essentiate the ego first, you know, and that's what the first part of the campaign is. But at the same time, once you beat it, you gotta realize it's like, oh no, homie, you ain't shit. This is just to make you feel good. And again, and that's the thing, you gotta get them. Every game does this. They get you this little taste and this fake power, and then here, we're just gonna endlessly give you here XP, and then that's what the message is. Like, oh, you can keep doing this all you want. You're never gonna get actually stronger. If you want to actually get stronger, you have to sit down, pick a real fucking character. Don't just pick dumb Zhao Yu. X circle Cooper. No, you gotta sit here and be you know.
All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry,
he missed the whole thing about the game, so he's gonna have to read it again. But yeah,
no. I'll just listen to it later. Exactly. I went to use the restroom and then I cooked up some Panda Express.
But yeah, trust me, Jay. Balancing is a thing that I'm really super focused. So don't worry. Like, I mean, there's balancing in the sense where there won't be infinites, right? Nothing broken, and it's more focused on the enemies. Like, how can I sit here like when you say you're facing that skeleton enemy, there'll be one where you face, like, and it'll be enemy design, right? The big enemy design, I follow it. You'll never have more than 7. That's the golden number, by the way. So you'll have one that's, okay, super fast, and he always goes for low. So, you know, when it's this enemy, oh, block low. Or, oh, you know what? I just learned a new move. It's called an orbital heal. Let me use my orbital heal. Or say you're using the wizard girl. You're like, he likes to go for lows a lot. I can set a spell that always will have block lows. And so even if they go through you, oh, you know, you're fine because you got a block low fucking spell or some bullshit. Or, you know, okay, they're weak to this. And, you know what I'm saying? There's things that are actually engaging. Like, there will never be just one answer. Because that's how real fighting games are. Okay, someone's spamming fireballs. There are 100 ways to solve that. You can either walk up, block, punish. You can jump. You can do a fireball of your own and out fireball them. Or you can, you know, armor through it. You can parry it. You can armor through it. You can also just backdash, jump over some bullshit. You can, like I said, walk up, block, hit. Like, there are multiple options, right, to actually solve it. And I don't think enough games do that. Like I said, we're doing the Zelda approach. You get your sword, solve a puzzle, and then, like I said, it will always slowly be introduced. That's why I feel like arcade, like, okay, here's how to cross counter. But do you have an entire segment dedicated to that? No, you don't. And you have to have fun. And the funny thing is, basically what I'm saying is this giant dungeon is a giant ass tutorial. But disguised as a game. And that's what Zelda is. Like I said before, Zelda is like Dungeons and Dragons for kids. Dark Souls is Dungeons and Dragons for intermediate. Dragon's Dogma is Dungeons and Dragons for men. You know, it's in that process. You're a little baby, yeah, look, I'm Zelda. And then you're like, oh, you know, I'm cool. And then you play Dark Souls, then you go to Dogma, bitch. You get smacked across the screen, you know, I'll Dragon Ball, you get to the wall, and it's like, this is a man's RPG. Get good. You know, people think, and this is a funny thing I've said it again, and I'll never stop saying it. Everyone thinks Dark Souls is hard. It's not easy, but it's not hard. It's meant to be beaten. Actual hard games don't want you to beat them. Like that's why I love arcade players. Were like, Dark Souls, man, that's for bitches. Have you even heard of Black Motherfucking Dragon? It's like, what's that? It's a Capcom game, bitch. It's like, to me, I see This is why I don't like modern Capcom. Modern Capcom to me is dead because it just cares too much about being easy. Like, that's not the spirit of Capcom. Capcom is notorious for having hard fucking games, bro. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get into that whole debate thing. But again, this one's like, no, we're starting baby. Like, here you go. Here's your Zelda. We're starting with Zelda first. Then after 2 games, we'll go to Dark Souls. Then after like 3, then we're going to Dogma. Then after Dogma, we're going to Street Fighter. Because, lecturing graphics ain't easy, baby. But yeah, just trust me, the concerns you have, trust me, don't worry. And again, there's going to be a lot of playtesting. Another thing is I got to stress is playtesting. In theory, there's a good developer to develop the DFG's toolkit, and he talks about the puzzle might be easy for you to solve, but is it as intuitive and very clear for the other person, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to make it hard. I'm trying to make it as easy and intuitive as possible. That's why another fun thing when I'm doing with the combat, there's going to be color coded, right? If something's like red, then that's like an unblockable, right? It'll start at the end.
We got yellow paint over here.
Not that level of stupid, right? And then when you're blocking, it'll show like if it's white, it shows that it's fine, right? It's their advantage, right? And it'll even in the same thing is it'll be a tutorial or something. But I hate things where it just throws text at you. But when you're playing the dungeon, you notice every time. Like, it gets a skeleton, they have no muscle. When they do their move, it shows like a giant red. That means, it's my turn. That's punishable as fuck. But if it's like light, okay, it's like neutral. And then like green is like, I'll figure out what the color, because again, colors actually do matter. And I'm also going to make it very colorblind friendly. So I'm first doing it in black and white. So there's like, if it's like if it's a dark color, then okay, that's negative. If it's super light, then it's plus. That's the way I'm going. And again, it'll be colors for us people. So you can say dark red, negative, that's punishable. Bright white, plus as fuck, and that I don't, what I'm saying? It's something intuitive that people can understand. Like, no, it's easy. And I don't have to sit here and teach people like, that's punishable, that's negative. The game inherently already taught you. After playing an hour of just the dungeon, you already know red means, it's my fucking turn. On the blocks on, the little bunk, from SF5. SF5 was a good start, right? It goes big and whatever, but I think color coordination is a good step to help nooblets. To help, inherently teach them about frame data outside of just really good animations. Because sometimes people, like I said, the shoulder thing. Remember, Jay? You thought the shoulder was fucking plus? Am I not wrong? So I think you muted. But for those who know, Jay literally thought shoulders were plus in Tekken.
Why are you calling him out like that?
No, because here's the thing. The funny thing is,
I'm joking.
In real life, they are plus. Imagine if a whole person is shoving their entire body to you. Yeah, you're gonna get pushed back. You can't retaliate. But Tekken is too focused on game logic that it's like, no, it's punishable. So mind you, the way we're doing our frame data is more to real life. So the colors are there to help, but usually you who are professional fighters won't need it because you'll be like, yeah, that's negative as fuck. I don't have to tell you. You actually do real fighting to know that an entire shoulder. But how do we balance it? We have a stamina system. Yeah, it's 13 frames, but homie, that's a lot of stamina you're wasting. And we can all agree that someone running at you full force with a shoulder, yeah, they're gonna get a bit winded afterwards. They might be plus, it might be fast, but in the long term, if they keep spamming that, homie, they're not gonna have enough energy or strength to throw even a jab at that point.
And they might be vile.
So look at that. We're having actual frame moves that make sense. So let that sink in. We're having it to the point where even if I get rid of the color coordinate, I'm gonna test this. That again, so right now, all of you in here are gonna test the game. I'm gonna have you guys. This is gonna be punishable. It's gonna be like a trial. Right? Punish all these moves. The first one's gonna be a shoulder. I hope to God all of you will look at that and be like, I'm gonna respect that, because logically you look at someone going with their whole shoulder and like, I'm not testing that shit. See, and then there you go. That's how you know I did good stuff. That I don't have to tell you. No one has to give you numbers. That like, oh man, because in Tekken, someone has to tell you, that's punishable. If not, you would have never tried. I think that's already bad animation design. But on top of that, with the game, so you know what I'm saying? I want a good core foundation where you don't even need the colors. The colors are a bonus for people who just might not get it. So that's like a foolproof way, right? It's simple. But by the way, this will only apply to low level. When you actually play like ranked, for example, that shit's gone. The color coding is gone, 100%. Now you have to actually know the frame data. So just not to be too baby. Like I said, I know how to moderate our modern controls in a sense, right? While still preserving mixed fighting games important, right? Like at the end of the day, I'll say this much: 90%.
Can't you say that you adding color coding is like beneficial for people that are deaf, so then they could see what's
blind colorblind.
Colorblind.
Yeah, true. That's part of it too. And again, animations should be able to help, but again, it's I could just see some people just think.
And blind. Right, no, not
because at the end of the day,
I was right.
At the end of the day, for as much as all of us here know that a shoulder would 100% plus in real life, there are people who would never think of that. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who don't understand fighting and never will.
I think it's because they've never been hit with a Urian.
True, yeah. But regardless, the color coordination is there for those who just might not get it, right? But the fact is, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being lazy. I'm not relying on the color coordination as a crutch to have shitty animations. You know, because someone could just actually pay attention. And imagine if someone does an animation and it looks negative as fuck, you try to punish it, and you forgot to look at the colors. You know, so it's good to have animations along with good color coordination, right? But yeah. So that's the whole thing about that. Man, I went off too much on the game. I feel a little bit, but whatever. Hopefully, you guys enjoy that TED talk of my game stuff. And again, like I said, the thing is, I can't stress enough is a lot of this is going to get tested from high to low to mid-level players. Because at the end of the day, I could say all this and maybe I could do it a certain way, but then in practice, like I said, let's say I do it theoretically good. Okay, here's the shoulder and here's the red. But somehow people keep pressing buttons. I got to figure out what the problem is. And that's the thing that's very important about it. Maybe it could be like, this color code of red is wrong. Or actually, you know what? Maybe the startup animation is wrong. There could always be something like, you know, in theory, something can be right, but you could just mess something up, you know? And I guess there's a great developer thing that showed a dude that people were having problems with something like he was able to do it. Because the thing is, when you're making the game, you know exactly what your intention is. The person playing does not. You know, how clear is the intention? Like, good example, like in some games, oh, is there a lot of ammo? Is there red barrels? Maybe I should shoot the boss at this red. You know, some of them are just too brain dead obvious, but I'm not going to the point where, look at this yellow paint here. Oh, look at all this ammo. You put a giant circle, and then, oh my God, look at this giant. And then there's a person yelling, hey, Kratos, you should shoot that barrel. It'll blow up. You know, no, that's stupid. That's too hand-holdy. I want subtle hand-holding. Like I said, the Zelda approach, where it's like, it's nice and like the game's not screaming at you, and it's like, oh, look at this. This is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like actual fucking game design and not just a bunch of wall attacks too. That's the worst. Anyways, that's my whole thing on that. Outside of that, what's our next subject? Sorry, I went off too much of the... It went from isekai to game stuff. It's like, ugh. And we have so much... Oh,
Jesus Christ, man. I went, I showered, I walked the dog, I fucking made a new emancipation.
I don't know. That's and again, like I said, I only say this to Mark's cooler, right? And he knows the shit. And like I said, he was super right what he was saying earlier. And even he agrees, if Halo Infinite just actually had content and can actually, if it updated properly, actually had Forge, you know, and had co-op, I guarantee you right now, I would be watching Halo Infinite tournaments. But I don't, because I don't even play the game. You know what I'm saying? How can I be invested when I don't even fucking play the game? You know?
True.
Like, the problem right now, the bigger problem, we can all agree, semantics aside, is that they're just failing as a product. Think about this, bro. Think about this. I make content.
Is she harder?
I don't make content that I you know, I have to force myself to be a editor and this and that. All I wanted to do is play video games, press buttons, and be good. That's all I wanted to do. I don't want to fucking edit. I don't want to fucking do research. I did it because I fucking have to, because that's what it fucking takes. Same thing. And then I realized, oh shit, nobody fucking gives a shit about fighting game esports. So I said, fuck it, I'll make my own. That's why I'm saying this. I say this as someone who actually genuinely cares. I don't want to fucking make a game. This shit's hard. I fucking hate coding. I can't stress enough, dude. This shit is a lot of fucking work. I've put in more work.
No. It's not a lot of work. It takes part of your sanity.
Yeah, dude. Think about this, you guys. I spent an entire week trying to make a model only to scrap it because I wasn't happy with it.
I mean, that's on you.
But again, I have to.
But that is so relatable.
Because
that is so relatable.
Not a single esports player, not a single player, YouTuber, or even these companies like Capcom. No, or even if they do, like I said, there are people that are good YouTubers. Like there are content. We need more content. Like no, you got game. We need to make fighting games easier. That's not the problem. We have no content. No one wants. And again, that's why I said. Why do you think I said? Think about this. I don't want to have custom character. I never wanted to make an isekai. But I'm willing to go where the normies are. I'm coming to you. Same when I teach. I don't just simply say, oh, notations, whatever. Hey, Vile, could you press square, triangle, circle? Right?
Nah, dude, I need to press X and triangle.
But you get my point, right? You have to go to them. Don't like, no, how dare you not know what 360 no scope is? How dare you not know 5-4? No. You go to them. You go to them. And that's what I'm doing. I'm like, you know what?
You're going to them?
Yeah, of course. Think about it. I'm making the game normies wanting a fighting game. They're like, why can't I just have a fighting game that has Naruto buttons? Say no more. I got you, dog.
Oh.
Like, that's why in the scheme it asks you, and in the button scheme will go to what you want. I'm coming to you. That's why that, to me,
interesting.
It's important because people, the biggest reason people don't like getting into fighting games is it's foreign. There is nothing like if you come playing Naruto and you go to play Tekken, nowhere near the same. Not even close. Hell no. Not close at all. Same with any other game. Like, think about it, within fighting games, no fighter outside of fighting games like Smash, Naruto, Dragon Ball, none of them have a scheme like Tekken or Street Fighter in the slightest. They don't do the same buttons. They don't do the same. No, not in the slightest. Hell no. And that alone makes people who already play fighters be like, oh, I'm not playing Tekken. You know? And I'm trying to get rid of that barrier entry. Then the second one is, I don't give a shit about custom characters. I think they're not great for stories. So I was like, fuck it. I'll find a way to shoot them in, right? And this is the problem. People don't want to compromise. I'm compromising. I'm like, here you go. Here's Naruto buns. Here you go. Here's a custom character. But we're still on my terms. Your character cannot be top tier. Quarter circle stay. You have to have, you know what I'm saying? That's what the problem is. People don't want to compromise. To me, this is a fighting game. Motion input stay. This is my vision, whatever. All that's still there. Same with my music, whatever. But I'm willing to meet you halfway. Here's your Naruto controls. Here's your fucking your Smash controls, whatever. All you can play with each other. Here's your RPG elements. Here's your custom character shit. But don't bitch at me. Oh, there's not enough black hairstyles. Fuck off and be happy there's a custom character shit there. If you want to make your own hairstyle, here you go. Go to the hair thing and go wild. I don't care. I really don't care about that.
You're gonna add my hair in the game because I haven't found a game that has my hairstyle.
I'm gonna keep it real. Outside of the elements and everything, the character creation thing is gonna be very basic because you don't have any idea how hard it is to do that. And I am not in the mood to make a super in-depth character creator. No, just no. That is something I don't enjoy. I'm already torturing myself with code and online, and that's the thing I learned. Like unless this is what a developer said to me: if it's not necessary, don't do it. I do not want to have a super in character because dude, you're talking to a dude who goes into the character menu to make your one. Okay, dude, this height, wizard. All right, cool. That's it. I don't spend more than 10 minutes in a custom character creator, dude. I don't.
But you're not going to the majority of the audience. A lot of people love customization.
No, that's the thing.
Characters.
They like the customization thing. But as long as it's there, they'll show up. They don't care how good it is or not. They'll bitch if it's not, but guess what? They're still going to play it. Same with COD. How many people get mad at COD, but they still buy it because it's COD? You get what I'm saying? Like, my custom creator is not going to be great, but people will play it purely because it has it. Like I said, my homie said, I tried out Nito because it has a custom character creator. Guess what? Its custom creator is not that good. You have a limited hairstyles. There's only so many faces you can choose, so many voices. You know, people don't understand how hard it is to actually you know what I'm saying? I have to be my compromises. I can't have a super in-depth RPG character creator and also have a fighting game. That's impossible. They're two completely different fucking things, you know? But like I said, thinking about this, that's how you know I'm being humble, is that I don't even want to fucking do this. You have no idea how much I don't want to do this, but I'm doing it because it's what the normies like, you know? And that's the problem. Capcom doesn't know what... They don't listen to their fans. Oh, let's keep making stupid reimaginings. Oh, I'm a dumb bitch. Let's keep adding woke bullshit. Let's charge $70 fucking dollars. Why is no one buying my game? Fucking idiots. Meanwhile, me, dude, seriously, I'm telling you, if my game doesn't succeed, bro, I'm gonna fucking... I don't know what I'll do, but it'll definitely not be illegal. I'll tell you that much for sure. I don't know. Maybe I'll kick someone in the shins. I'll blame Cody.
Nah, you're probably gonna say...
But I can't... Like I said, maybe I'm being a dick. But my indie game has to succeed. Come on, Power will succeed, this and that. My game is just come on, bro. We need it for... It's too important for me. I'm not saying my game's the greatest thing on earth, but we need it to do good. So these companies can see. Like I said, this is literally just a fuck you to these companies. Fuck you, Tekken, you're balancing stupid. Fuck you, Arxis, you're balancing this stupid. Fuck you, Capcom, fix your inputs. Fuck you, Mortal Kombat, your inputs are stupid. Fuck you, COD, your games are trash. Fuck you, Halo, why have you been sucking past 3? Fuck you, Gears, why have you done anything past 3? It's just giant fucks. You're
this dude is just fucking everything. God damn. All right, chill out, Zeus clone.
Nothing's been nice.
See, thank you. I want to at least make something everybody can be happy with.
Love Gears 5. I don't know what y'all tripping on.
I'm gonna slap you for that. And Mar will too. You guys
Mario would agree with me if he was here.
Whatever. But you guys get me though, right? That's why it is a genuine passion project, and what's keeping me going is the faces of these stupid executives being like Ubisoft, our sales are low. Assassin's Creed, how is this fighting game that's free to play beating our sales? Because I actually know what people want. There's no ugly characters, there's no woke bullshit. I know what people actually want. Here's a likable character that's rip off Marvel. Here's some buttons from a game you've played. Here's actual fucking content. You know, oh my god. And you know what? Most important, he's the craziest thing, you guys. Same like Baldur's Gate. It just works. No bugs, no nothing. That's one of my goals. Is that, believe it or not. By the way, did I mention the game's gonna run at 120 FPS? Yeah. That is my main goal. I'm surprised that's not a standard. You know, this is simple. You agree, Jay? They're just simple things. Gamers don't give a shit about your stupid. We don't give a fuck about ray tracing. We don't give a fuck about this. Whatever. You know what I care about? When I put $60,
who the fuck said that you had a supercomputer to be doing ray tracing?
Right. But am I not wrong? You can agree. What people want is when I put $60, this is a fully fledged offline story mode, plenty of content, maybe online. That's optional. Depends on the game, right? And that it works. How many returns have you had, Jay, from a game not working or simply being too short or not having anything for them to do?
All of the above.
You are ground zero.
No,
sir.
well, it's number one for sure. Like it's just like too short. Well, here's the
People-
thing. Like for example, Silent Hill. I have one regular. Literally, he plays certain games, plays it through the entirety, and returns it within like 4 days. And he returned like Silent Hill. Not that Silent Hill was bad, but some people just have so much fucking time on their hands.
True.
But when people do return certain games, it's because either it just doesn't work, they shut down the servers, or it's just not what they wanted.
Thank you.
Are you?
Or
Oh.
it's just too much. It's too many hoops. It's just too many hoops to jump through in order to get like decent fucking content.
Good example.
Do
For
they-
Honor.
do
For
they-
Honor has too many
Do
hoops
they
for anyone trying
return
to
it
get into
because
it.
there's
you know what?
ray
I still
tracing
play-
in it?
I still play For Honor to this day. It doesn't have like. Here's the thing. I do love the combat system. I just think that Ubisoft really sleeps on it and like doesn't like. They don't optimize their servers. They don't.
Mhm.
That's just a big issue. Just companies once again with ray tracing. I think that's what really like opened the gates for it. It's like, hey, not only are we like wasting money, but we're also lazy as fuck. We're gonna let the PC do it. The jobs that we were paying people to do, we're gonna let the PC do it, and it may crash your game 5 times out of 10.
And fun fact.
So what
okay.
you're saying is that
No, keep going, keep going. I'm getting something up right now.
no, I'm saying like pretty much people saying like, so what you're saying is that I have a 50-50 chance of like enjoying this game.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I hope my game does good, like I said, and I'm treating it actually appeal. And here's the thing, something a lot of indie developers, like I said before, their marketing is garbage. You can't just all play people like, no, you gotta, famous Dragon Ball player, here's a beta code for my thing. Like I'll actually contact people, like I said, as many as I can. Oh, Asmongold, I sent him a link to the game so he can give his thoughts, right? It doesn't matter if he doesn't like it or not. The thing is, eyes are being on the game. Indie developers, the reason, here's the honest truth. Everybody's loving indie, right? It's popping up more than ever. This is true, and this is the funny thing. I might not be as good of an artist as, like I said, like indie game I talked before, but this is one thing I know for sure I will be proud of, and it's true. I know how to fucking market. God damn, do I know how to market. Like I said, I know what people actually want. Like I said, my game is marketable. Like I said, the biggest genres that people want is like action, adventure, and shooter. I have all three. I have all three. I'm a marketable game. And here's the thing, man. And I said before, no one gives a shit about pixelated games. No one gives a shit about top-down games. Like, I know it sucks, but like I said it before, even me as a gamer, I looked at a game as pixelated, and I was like, $35 is too steep. I thought that was too much. I look at games as pixel. I'm like, it has to be $25, $20, $25. And that's just how our brains work. And the problem is indie developers are in their circle where they don't realize that people want games to look like COD. They don't have to be the greatest graphics, whatever, but they have to be 3D. There's voice lines, this and that, just the bare minimum to look like a AAA game. That's why I said I have a lot of high hopes for this game, because it's a marketable game. Even though I don't give a shit about the genre, the game is anime as fuck. Either your game has to be realistic, anime, or something, specific. But they could be like, oh my god, it's like Marvel. What is it that's something that they like that's popular, right? And the problem is a lot of these indie games will be like, oh, here's a game. Like, good example, someone's making like a game that's rip off Paper Mario. Who the fuck gives a shit about Paper Mario? People who play Paper Mario play it because it's Mario, not because it's an RPG. And it's crazy that people don't understand, why is my game not selling well?
And those plays about to press you with that one.
Exactly. But my whole point being is, first of all, understand, do you have a marketable game, right? I've said it before. In my game, it's marketable. Fighting games are not a niche. Like I said, when we remember the entire genre. Yeah, no. Dragon Ball sold a shit ton of fucking copies. It surpassed fucking COD, for God's sake. Dragon Ball Fighter sold a lot. Street Fighter sells a lot. Tekken sells a lot. Like, it's not a niche genre. The problem is their marketing is garbage, or like you said, people return it, whatever. But the genre I am making a game for is not a niche, and I know how to fucking market. And I'm getting a fighting game people have been asking for besides Dragon Ball. Fucking whatever, right? That's the first thing. And on top of, like I said, I actually know how to market. Indie developers don't know how to market. Like, everyone says it. It's a joke in the community. Oh, making the game passion, this and that, marketing, and it's just also, dude, just throws it at Steam. It's like, yeah, it'll work fine. Like, no wonder most indie games don't fucking do good at all. Your marketing is trash. Heck, even the developer, you guys know the dude, the solo developer who made Stardew Valley. He did at least some moderate marketing. He even understood it. Like, I did some of it. But even he was surprised with how successful it was. But the reason it did marketing is because he knew his demographic or whatever, and it popped up and it got word of mouth, right? But even he knows, yeah, I got lucky. He's like, in hindsight, I should have done my marketing better. I got lucky. He understood, and he said, and that's why he even tells people, yeah, don't do what I did. I got very lucky. By the way, his story is super inspirational. But yeah, he's not once, but I'll tell you guys this much. He's the once in a lifetime. He's an actual solo dev. Most people don't realize being a true solo dev implies you make your own engine, this and that. Like, I am partial solo dev, right? I use a proprietary engine, which is Unreal. And I do hire some outside work. I don't do all the voice acting. I don't make all the music. But we could arguably say definitely I'm even a rarity within. That's again, someone who's doing 75% of the work. That's already super rare. And I can see why. You have to be disciplined in so many fucking fields. It's goddamn insane. And I have like a lot of shit. You guys seen my fucking music style? And that's the other thing too. You guys agree that My music, you guys think my priority is correct, right? It's not about, oh, does the song represent the feelings, this and that. Like, no, that is cool. It's deep. That doesn't matter. The average person goes, yo, that shit slaps. That's what's gonna get people to buy my game. Not that it's a deep song, this and that. They're like, you know, you got the black chick in the back with the big booty, like she going do 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 do. She's like, damn, yo, I wanna play this game, dog. Yo, this shit bop. You know, I'm gonna get Raquisha to buy my game, bro.
Yeah, Kimberly and Street Fighter 6.
But you get what I'm saying, though, right? And again, also having characters
yeah.
people can vibe with too. Like, I don't know, man. It's just crazy how this is why I hope not even I hope, it has to. I don't see my game not succeeding if I can get it done. That's the hardest part, is getting the game done. I know how to market it, and it's a marketable game. And dude, it's simple things. It's like I said, this is why like I said, I didn't want to make it, but the gaps are so big. It's like, you know, it's like it is the best way to put it. It's like seeing a door be opened, everyone keeps pass buying it, and no one closes it. And it's just like a simple, you just, you know, go to the door and then like close it. That's how I feel. Do you guys not agree? Like when you guys see games, like, dude, it's not that hard. Like homie, all you gotta do is charge not $70 fucking dollars, maybe $40. Give us offline content, make the game work. That's it. Just those three things, dude. The company's like, huh? Then when Baldur's Gate comes out, again, this is why Baldur's Gate to me is my inspiration. My inspirations are Baldur's Gate, Pal World, any indie game that does things. I'm like, yes, this is what I'm going for. You know, that's one aspect. But to me, the biggest is Baldur's Gate. They said, let's make a full product game of the year. And every company, that's unrealistic. How dare they have co-op? How dare the game work? How dare it have actual full-fledged content? And how dare it not cost $60 or $70? It's like, they're giving us, you know, I am giving the people what they want. Here's a game, free to play. Fun fact, free to play. There's some things, this and that, but if you want to pay full price, $45 max. It has goddamn 4-player co-op. There you go. Co-op, one of the few couch co-op games. By the way, yeah, and offline. What else? This and that, or whatever. Oh, here you go.
One of the only.
100 hours worth of content in story mode alone for custom character. This is not counting the characters at solo. Or, oh, do you want to play Rip-Off Mario Kart? We got Rip-Off Mario Kart Need for Speed. We got Rip-Off Guitar Hero fighting game that teaches combo. We have, like, you know, like, look at all the modes. Like, oh my god, remember when video games that used to have actual fucking game modes? Crazy, I know. Crazy that some of us want to play Rip-Off Mario Kart and Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Damn, ain't that some shit? You know, like, fuck, that's all it is. There's simple things. And like I said, the last one, does it work? Like, are you sitting here getting soft locked or whatever? And I didn't even mention online. Notice how this is what I said to me. That's why when I said to my game, I am not focused on esports. Make a good product first and earn people's affection and trust before you even think about esports. And that's the thing I can never stand about games like Siege. Oh, we're gonna go, esports. But what have you done to make me, the consumer, happy? Your offline is garbage. And a lot of people didn't get into Siege, and to this day they still aren't. Your offline content is garbage. Who cares about your esports scene? Your offline content is garbage. Same with Street Fighter. I said they're in the right step, but World 2 could be better at the end of the day. But what's their problem? Oh, we don't know how to market CPT outside of Japan. Our inputs don't work for shit. It's like that's why I don't give a shit about CPT and why I even get annoyed. And that's the other thing too. Why don't I could have more Street Fighter 6 content? I mean, remember, I am the leg peg right now for SF6. I could be more famous outside of my tutorial. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my tutorial is gonna get me more famous and everything. But at the end of the day, Street Fighter is there, but like I said, their marketing is kind of shit. World Tour could have been a bit better, if I'm being honest. That's also two things I think would have got SF6's numbers. And this is other things, right? But yeah, I'm gonna stop. You guys get my whole point, right? Is that the reason my game will do good is not because it'll be okay. And to me, it's gonna be an okay game. The problem is we don't have a single okay big game. Like, yeah, there's a lot of good indie games for sure, but nobody gives a shit about your random platformer. The biggest indie games are games that are just rip-off, like Tarkov, that's an indie game. Surgency Sandstorm, that's an indie game. Ready or Not, that's an indie game. Are we seeing a trend here? These indie games that are doing good are basically just, oh, a AAA title that doesn't suck. No one gives a shit about your rip-off Paper Mario. No one gives a shit about your rip-off Ori and the Wisp. No. Well, what other indie games you guys know that big? Like, oh yeah, obviously Undertale popped off, whatever. But here's the thing. For as big as Undertale, oh, that one actually did okay. That one gets credit. But outside of like, even you get my point though, right? For as big as some of these titles, again, your Undertale, your Stardew Valley, are they really mainstream popular? They're gamer popular. But if I were to go down the street right now and ask someone, oh, do you know Stardew? Do you know? They would probably say no. They don't give a shit. And even me, like, those are good games. Don't get me wrong. They are good games. They are respectable. And again, huge shout outs. I'm never playing either of those games. Maybe see Stardew Valley I would, but I haven't even finished Animal Crossing. I gotta finish Animal Crossing, you know, like fuck. And at the end of the day, here's the best way to put it. Like I said before, 2J is like, what am I gonna play? Okay, here's your cool little funny little, let's say the Marlo whatever game, or do you want to, you know, with the music with the men like we're men. Like I said, like I can't stress this enough. Like I said, Zelda, Nintendo, it's all cool. Like objectively, a single Nintendo game is probably better than the entire COD franchise. Sure. But the reason why everyone shits on the Switch and why, again, your average gamer will pick a PlayStation, it doesn't have COD. It doesn't matter that COD is a worse game than Zelda. I am a grown-ass man. I want to see some people get motherfucking shot. And it's crazy that indie developers do not understand appeal, bro. Most people, you know, adults who can buy shit are men. Men like blood, guts, gore. Oh, fucking crazy. We don't want to sit here and be like, Mom, I'm Zelda. I'm going to say the day, wish, whoosh. Like, no, I'm sorry. The average person doesn't give a shit. I mean, I do, but that's me. I like Zelda. But if someone sit here, play Breath of the Wild or COD, I'm going to smack Zelda and be like, yeah, I'm going to 360 no scope. You know? Like, fucking crazy. You know? Crazy. Like I said, I get what people want. People, when they play my game, like I said, they're gonna be the isekai, like the badass. They're gonna sit here and be like, you know, be this buff and be like, do ya? I mean, you right, Jay? You agree? What's more satisfying? Yeah. No, Zelda, do ya? Because I'm a motherfucking man, and that's the problem. Like I said, maybe I'm being a dick, but I don't like pussy loser gamers. You do not represent the majority. Like I said, I think was it you that time? I mentioned before we were talking in GameStop. We were talking about cool games, and then that virgin loser Nintendo dude talked about Zelda and I just looked at him like I wanted to stuff him in a locker, and I just went back to our conversation. I was like, who asked you to be in this conversation, loser virgin? Get lost. But I'm like, no, I can't be that big of a dick, especially not in public and in your. So I was like, no.
Be gone.
I don't know. Was that you when you were there, or was it a different time?
No, it was me.
Okay, so you were never.
Yeah.
It's like,
So,
I was like,
because it was Echoes of Wisdom came out. We were talking about Echoes of Wisdom, and it was the chibi aspect of it, and we were just like, oh, it's like, you know, it's like, you know, I mean, yeah, Nintendo games enjoy. You never had a bad game. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't really scratch that itch.
right? Yeah. Yep. You were definitely.
Yeah. Like that's why, like Nintendo is family friendly for a reason, and it's not a bad thing.
Right, exactly. Thank you. Right.
But it's like saying,
you know what is a bad thing? That $100 alarm clock.
Well, here's the thing. That's like saying, oh, nigga, why the fuck Chuck E. Cheese ain't got no Remy Martin behind the corner? Like it's Chuck E. Cheese, bro. It's like it's
Thank you.
It's like,
well,
dude,
hold on. Chuck E. Cheese does serve alcohol though.
Wait, it does?
In where?
Yeah, it does.
In what universe, bro?
At my respectfully closed. So sad about the location. The only Chuck E. Cheese place.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a reason.
The one that in my area, but like when I saw their menu, like when I took like my baby brother there, they had an option for alcohol, beer.
Crazy.
Beer.
But hey, again, they're appealing to.
And I was like, you know what? That's so fair.
Fuck, nigga.
Regardless, Vile, you agree with my statement, right? Like you'll definitely play my fighting game, right? Because it's gonna appeal to you. I'm doing my best to make sure people like you play it.
Nah, G, you too. I noticed the creator is too narcissistic. I can't support that.
Shut up. Wait, here's the best question.
Listen. I just have a question.
Okay.
Does your new fighting game follow Tomo's TDR, timing, distance, and reactions?
Oh, of course. Absolutely. I mean, it's a fighting game. That's like the core of a fighting game.
No, that's the joke to like reference to the video.
Whatever, dude. I'm too in my head right now.
It's fucking like 2000s footage.
Look, man. I'm sorry. I'm out of it right now. I'm too into heated rant mode because I'm all passionate about this.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. I mean, that basically, and like I said, thanks, Jay, for like saying this. I like that he's the games. He's the ground zeros guy. Like he is. He sees the average person who actually purchased games.
that is true.
And I interact with them on a daily fucking basis.
Exactly. Too. And you know, here's the best way to put it. I've been spitting bars
this
entire time.
Is that part of the policy?
Yep.
Look at me wrong. If Roy's capping, I'm gonna call him out.
Oh, thank you. So I like I said, you out of everybody can call me out the most because you see the average. And like I said, I talked to.
And I've been here. This is ground zero. Like this is Black Friday, Christmas, literally every single portion of the year where games have came out. Many different types of games across many different genres, and I know what's gonna sell. I know what people like, and if that's the case, I ask because I know exactly where to direct them to.
Right. And so here's a better question to ask you as Mr. GameStop. Do you think my strategy more or less so far is not half bad for how I'm marketing my game and I understand what it takes for this game to be successful?
In a holistic sense, yes, because it's gonna do better in the long run. Because longevity is the goal. Like you don't want a
True.
one-hit wonder.
True.
And
true,
like for example, like Helldivers, you don't want that situation.
true. And here's the thing: what if I told you?
Because no one has talked about Helldivers in like a while.
Let me ask you this much: what if, like, I mean, I'm planning on doing this too later on. Because the thing is, right now I'm only focusing on what I'm trying to do is, like I said, I want to make Auto Showdown to get notoriety, and then do some Steam stuff, and then release stuff to the point where Xbox wants to get me on board. Because fun fact, there's a reason a lot of people don't release past Steam, because trying to get a developer concert is fucking cancer. So I want PlayStation and Xbox to come to me, because I know if I want my game to actually be mainstream, I have to sell on consoles. There is no debate about that. But it's such a pain. So, I have to make I know Xbox will go out of the way to get me. Like, we look at how they did with Power World. So who knows? They might release on Steam first or something. But even then, what I plan to do is release physical. And the thing, I want to actually release physical fucking copies. And once I can get to that point, like I said right now, but hopefully we'll see how things go, right? Would you not think it's not a half bad mood to work with GameStop for them to market my fucking game? Because I remember Aaron said it the best. Like, bro, most of the time what sells is what the people see here. It's on the trailer or something, or someone recommend. So
yeah, but then again, it's very hard to get it through because people forget GameStop is also a corporate entity.
Yeah.
It's also a corporate entity, so it's right up their alley. But that's like on the higher ups because they're the ones that control what goes up. Like those companies pay. Like the fact that we have those marketing ups because companies actually pay to have that shit up there.
Exactly.
No other reason.
And wouldn't you say that if would it not be a smart move for me as an indie developer to pay to have the marketing for my game?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because like if any game that is upcoming or will be coming out that we will be providing in our stores immediately gets marketing on the coming soon section.
Exactly.
Like so people can see it. So like it's up, but that depends on how long they keep it up there because that shifts like forever. And I think it's just an issue with like juggernauts with the juggernauts in the business. Like there's the big three, which is Nintendo. Everybody knows the big three. Nintendo,
sports games.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying like the big three as in like companies. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. Like anything else.
True.
Remember Stadia?
Oh.
Exactly.
You know what? I used to be
the Oompa or the Zumba?
I don't know what that was.
I tried to be like a multi-platform device all into one.
See, and again, this is the.
I'm not gonna lie.
It looked like a fucking cube.
So
I used to be a Stadia until Amazon made their own device, and then I became a fan for the Google Stadia versus the Amazon Luna. That's what I hated. I hated Luna, and I used to hate the Google one until Amazon made theirs, and then I was seeing Google all the way.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know what happened with the Amazon one. Like you said, I heard it's I guess
Luna. I think Luna's still around, to be honest.
Luna is still around.
Whatever. But see, and here's the thing, Jay. You agree that by me having this conversation, like, with someone Ground Zeroes, whatever, like, hey, now, so you're telling me, so if I really want to actually have the marketing, not get cock blocked by Nintendo Place, I should pick a time when those three aren't having their advertisement. Then that's what you're basically telling me, then, right? That would be my release window when it doesn't compete with one of those three companies.
Yep, because they have nothing else going on.
True, fair enough. And
they know how to market. They know how to market. Well, once again, these are corporate businesses. Of course, they're going to know how to market. But the biggest thing is that they don't want to step over each other. They don't want to step on each other. Remember, like if you literally look at every single game release that happened earlier this year, Mario versus Donkey Kong, Princess Peach Showtime, Stellar Blade, right? Space Marine. Besides the later end of the year, which is always prime time for video games. Because of like holiday sales, different live streams that people have. Nintendo has their Treehouse, PlayStation has their State of Play, Xbox have their showcases. But you know what's the one thing that's consistent about all of them? None of them are ever in the same time period.
Exactly.
Period. None of them are ever in the same time period.
I have a question. What the fuck is this Treehouse I'm hearing about?
So Nintendo, how every single company has a specific live stream to showcase the games that are either their partner to sell with their consoles or is exclusively coming out for said console. So for example, remember how in June and July, Xbox had their presentation with Call of Duty with the Black Ops 6 reveal? Yeah, and then earlier before that in April when Stellar Blade dropped, PlayStation had their State of Play showcasing Silent Hill 2, which had recently came out. Once again, Nintendo has their tree houses, but that's of course earlier within a year, like May. So every other month, each company is taking their place on the stage, but they're not stepping over each other's feet because they know how that's going to interfere with each other's revenue. So as a mutual agreement of a truce, they don't do that because
Exactly.
otherwise you're just fucking everybody
Cannibalizing.
else's money up. Yeah, you're just fucking everybody's
Thank
money
you.
up.
And I've been saying this for so long, and people don't understand that. Like that's why I said, "Oh, Silent Hill coming around the same time as Dragon Ball." Damn, GG, Silent Hill, you're getting cooked by Dragon Ball. Fucking idiots.
You're like, and it's like, here's the thing, like it's not that like they know they're like no, there's specific how should I say this?
Audiences.
Yeah, there's specific audiences that they cater to, and that's a good thing. Well,
Right.
see, like Silent Hill, you can't compare Silent Hill to
Dragon Ball,
because Dragon Ball is a fighter.
Right.
Whereas Silent Hill is a first-person story mode, it's kind of similar to like Evil Within, because it's two different audiences, so that's okay. Now, here's the thing: let's say Call of Duty, Battlefield, Fortnite, and for shits and giggles, we'll say, let's say, fucking Apex Legends, just for shits and giggles, right? If all of those games came out, everyone's money will be fucked up. Why? Because all of those are shooters. All of those has live services, and all of those have battle passes that requires people to actively be on their game.
And you know what? Here's the thing.
So
Oh no, and here's the thing that I think you were getting with. See, here's the thing. It's funny because technically Xbox and Sony can step over, but not Nintendo, make different things. But even you could agree with this is that sure, Silent Hill and But the main thing I'm getting is that they don't step each other because at the end of the day, most people are normies. They'll ask, oh, what should I get? And they'll ask you, oh, should I get Silent Hill or Dragon Ball? Like the average person is down to play whatever. It depends on the game, obviously. Some are more so than others, right? So that's the thing.
You'd be surprised because the average person, funny enough, they're more likely to not buy a game than will. And usually they go with the crowd. Like it's that followers mentality because they're too scared to make a specific example because they don't know what they want.
Right, exactly.
And companies are taking advantage of that because they're like telling people, hey, what you want is this. What you want is this. And in fact, we got a battle pass. It's actually $10. It's fine. You get all these skins. You get this. You get that. I'm like, yeah, but it's like, what if they don't want that? Like you didn't give them a time to actually put their feet into the water. That's why I think free to play practices are they're very forgiving simply due to the fact that it doesn't cost you anything to go into the club. It doesn't cost you to get anything. Yeah, exactly. If you want to buy a drink, that's $10. Fine. Okay, sure, whatever, right? I pay $10 to open a tab, right, which is like my battle pass, right? And then I get to start buying the drinks that you provide in the service, but I didn't pay anything to get in.
Right.
That's fair.
And you know what? The other thing is, I mean, you could get this too. I think it depends. Like I said, Silent Hill and Dragon Ball are popular IPs, right? But Dragon Ball is obviously way more popular. To me, I think it's the other thing is
exactly.
It's like, and here's the thing. Imagine we have Zelda and like Zelda's probably more popular. You know that then it's a competition.
It's a lot more popular. It's a lot more because it's a prominent video game icon.
And the thing is, but the thing is, like, you know, these are IPs, whatever. Someone has to choose between Dragon Ball or Zelda, and I think a lot of people like Zelda, a lot of people love Dragon Ball, whatever. And that's, again, people don't want to step over their shoes. And guess what? This is why, to me, I hate when people make a good example. Diablo released around the same time as Street Fighter. Like, yeah, sure, we're not the same genre, but like Street Fighter 1 is more. It overshadows you. It's way too hard, even if you're not the same thing. Everybody knows the month Grand Theft Auto drops. I don't care what game or genre you are. It doesn't even matter if they don't have the same audience.
You're losing money for the next 4 months.
Exactly.
That's all everybody.
And you get what I'm saying. That's why it's like I said, depending on the you don't want to release with other bigger titles. Like it's something I seen the God of War developer actually talked about, the original ones, and they said, no. And even another thing too, there was an entertainment dude who did Carnival. Like when you are in the field of entertainment, you are in competition with everything. That's why I hate the VTuber who said, oh, anyone can be it. Like no, as a streamer, streamers and VTubers are the live service of watching. There's only so many you can watch. So when someone says, "Oh, you could also be a popular VTuber," no, it's oversaturated.
It's oversaturated. You took the words right out of my fucking mouth.
You get what I'm saying?
It's too oversaturated because if every single person, like literally, I can scroll through VTubers, and damn near 75% of them have tits that move with every single movement of their hair,
and that's annoying, and it pisses me off.
And they either have 3 voices, either very mature, either very bratty, or either very high pitched and annoying. But it gets your attention. The only ones that really stand out are the ones that actually know how to do crowd work. Most people don't know how to do crowd work.
Nope, absolutely.
Because otherwise, like literally, if you didn't have that rig staring into my fucking soul the entire time you were playing Genshin Impact, no one will be watching your shit. No one. Because there's no real attraction besides that. And since you're literally so socially insecure that you had to hide behind a rig in order to talk to people online, you don't have any crowd work. You can't work with people on a social level behind another screen. You couldn't even show your face.
Facts.
You can't even show your face.
True. Regardless, again.
So how that interaction between people, it's not pulling anything. So everybody wants to do the exact same thing or have the exact same niche. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some VTubers who have like interesting, like concepts about them, like, oh, this one's a Frankenstein, oh, this one's a moth, or
usually.
or even with Gura, like, you know what, like Gura is like you could like it's
Be
hands
sharp.
down, like she's the
Be sharp.
Let's
she is
go,
the most,
Juniper mention.
she is the most popular one. Like no one can argue that she's
Yeah,
not. Everyone in the like, if you've heard of a VTuber, you've seen that fucking idol before.
Yep. And again, why? She's actually funny as fuck.
We're talking about Gooba, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Gura. Yeah, and she knows crowd work.
And at the end of the day, the main reason, the real reason, look at her model. That's number one that got the attention. It's cute. Who doesn't like a cute little lowly fucking shark?
Try hard, God, Jim Bros.
You know, like she has the marketability, and she delivers. She is the full content. She is Call of Duty if it wasn't trash. She's actually funny and can do good crowd control. She has the big three: model, talent, crowd control. Absolutely, you fucking nailed it. Like, and it's crazy. I've seen all these things as someone, whatever. And at the end of the day, the final one, someone said it best. Shout out to the fat dude. He says, when it comes to these things, 90% of it is luck. You know, same with her. She got lucky. She happened to get picked. You know, at the end of the day, if someone who is doing this themselves, her voice acting, sometimes you gotta make a hard call. Be like, fuck it. I think you just gotta be like, I think I'll pick this one and hope for the best. And that's the thing that I guess it's a bitch. And the problem is why I'm confident is that too many indie developers, like 99% of them, leave it to luck. I'm like, no, I'm doing legwork, research, and everything. And this is the thing. This is what's pioneering and everything. That's why very few people in the entertainment industry, in anything, very like maybe 1 to 0.1% genuinely, legitimately earn their success because they see a gap. This is a good example. Even McDonald's was actually one of them. They seen it, and there's thing is you could tell because they keep having hardship, but they believed in their idea and they knew it would work. They saw that hole in the market and like, I'm gunning for that shit. And that's what originally VTubing was. Someone's like, I see an untapped market and I'm shooting for it. So the reason the first VTubers that got big wasn't because they were good. It's because they were the first ones. Same thing with my game. It technically won't be the first game ever. It'll be the first of its fucking kind though. But here's the thing, what am I doing to make sure everyone gets their eyes on that? And that's the fun of that. And luckily I've seen enough documentaries. What did McDonald's do to get everyone to be like, hey, you know we don't take 20 years for your burgers to fucking come here? Say no more, bro. Then it goes, what are you doing to spread yourself? Then from there, word of mouth. Same with my game, like, oh, I'm going to GameStop, this and that. And like, here's the better thing. Jay, can you see yourself promoting my fucking game? Like, how do you imagine there being posters for my fucking game? And what else would I need to do? Do I need to go go to visit GameStops, talk to people? Like, what would I actually need to do extra as someone that's down there at Ground Zeroes?
You literally would have to talk to the higher ups.
No, I know that.
That decide what goes on. But besides that, I think the only thing that people do is the best part about GameStop is that we don't need you, like, not to say like we're trying to put you down. We wouldn't need your help to upsell a game. We know how to sell a game, even if we've never touched it before, right? Mostly it's due to like what people want, what people usually like, and find the best thing inside that parameter, right? Like there's a lot of people who comes into a store, they're not specifically looking for Call of Duty, but they love first person shooters. So of course the first thing that fucking comes to mind is what? Call of Duty. And you know what's funny is that not even people don't even ask for Battlefield anymore. They don't.
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to people's mind when I say first person shooter is
COD.
Call of Duty. COD. Now, what else is within those parameters, right? Let's say you don't want to deal with being shot every 12 seconds and respawning and, dying over and over again, right? What if you want a first person experience, right? That's a shooter, that's high frame rate, lots of gore, lots of action that keeps you within the middle of the bullshit, and you're enjoying it. Doom, Wolfenstein, BioShock. I'll even say BioShock is also one of the best. It's one of the best first-person shooters and storytelling games as well. I loved BioShock 1, 2, and 3. The collection sold it. I fucking love that series. Hands down, one of the best FPS story games of all time. I'll take that to the fucking grave. But I can sell people on that because they're used to the first-person aspect.
Exactly.
It's the aspect itself. Like, people know, like, people go into a restaurant, like, you're going to want 3 things, right? A sandwich, a pasta, or some other combination of the 3, right? You get a sandwich, okay, how many different types of sandwiches there are? Yeah, or a soup, right? But see, that's the thing, bro. Like Roy comes into my store, he knows he wants a sandwich. What kind of sandwich can I sell him on, right?
Exactly.
He was like, oh, well, we have this. He's like, oh, well, we have this new thing. It's a seasonal one, right? For example, McRib. You know, that nigga finna be like, you know what, nigga, I haven't had barbecue in a long time. You know what? Let me try that. But they're more willing to try it because they're used to it.
Exactly.
It's familiarity. People sometimes think like, oh, it's the same shit. But here's the thing, nigga, you're still playing it.
Yeah, right.
You're still fucking playing
so
it. So familiarity is a good thing.
So you're just going back to what I looped, that my game is marketable. You can actually market my games. Like, oh, do you like Mortal Kombat? Do you like Street Fighter?
Street Fighter,
like,
exactly.
You can say that with
You
confidence.
find,
Am I not wrong?
I'm picking their brains. Usually we're picking their brains to find out what specifically they like and what also falls within that category, because familiarity is a good thing. So they're not as anxious to dive into it.
Thank you.
They feel more confident swiping that card when they go to buy your shit. Because they know it's worth it. Like, even though, like, there's the thing, so many people have prepaid for Dragon Ball. Why? Because they love fighters, they love Dragon Ball. Everyone knows Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
But if I can sell them on Dragon Ball, I can also probably sell them on Tekken. It's also classified as a 3D fighter with unique mechanics, and it actually challenges you to learn how to play the game. And of course, there's nice and pretty colors flashing all the time as well. It keeps their attention.
But there's overlap.
Yeah, but there's overlap, right? So it's a balance of, it's like the lesser of two evils, but there's also a balances of the spices, right? Everyone's cooking, right? You know how to cook. It's just how you balances that shit. But just because one dish has a similar spice is not a bad thing. You're not eating the same thing. It's familiar to you, but you're more likely to try it.
Right. So I mean, I feel good that again supporting my thing about the game being marketable and everything. And like I said, but like hopefully when I can get physical copies, like I said, I wouldn't even, bro. I wouldn't even mind like how much money you have to pay. Man, this is almost feels off the right. Well, you know what? Maybe I won't say it. Like, what if I could because GameStop does deals where like, oh, if you pre-order or something, get something early. Like, I probably so basically, you're telling me is if I pay GameStop and I work a deal, I can trust that GameStop can fucking market my game. Is what you're telling me, which is really good to hear.
Yes, we're trained to do that regardless.
That's great.
Like anything, like we're trained to be able to market anything. Because here's the thing, I can't control what comes out within the next 3 months, but I know one thing's for sure. I'm trained to sell them. I gotta sell something. I have to.
True.
Even like literally, even if you know, a small game, like for example, when Star Wars came out, Star Wars Outlaws, I thought nobody was gonna buy it. We still found people to reserve it and buy the game out.
Oh God.
$70 full price. It's because we know how to sell.
Damn.
If you know how to work crowds, if you know how to socialize, if you know how to talk to people, you can get them to buy anything. You can sell someone on a pencil. Like, you know, you've ever seen The Wolf of Wall Street?
True. Yes.
It's like, you know, the talk, you know, the pitch, the pitch. You can
Mm.
sell someone on a pencil within 1 minute and 30 seconds. Because you know what they want, you know what they need, and both overlap and there's familiarity to it, then you see no issue with swiping the card, and you feel more confident leaving than you are anxious of actually approaching it.
True. Yeah. See,
It's
like
just,
I said,
it's a mind game. It's a mind game.
so I feel
It
more
really is a
confident
mind
knowing that my idea of paying GameStop for stuff is like, you know what, that means it's a better pay. That means, like you said, I don't even have to do as much. So here's the thing. I have the big three, and you can agree that you can help market this. Like, I'm gonna have like videos, E3 style, whatever, and they're gonna be actual like modernish looking graphics. Like, oh, you could, oh, you guys see, look at that game right there in the TV. You have it on your TV, right? GameStop posters, boom, visuals. Second thing is the game is it's actually like, oh, you play tech, like you can name every fighting game, bro. Do you not feel confident you as a part, like, oh, do you literally any fighter ever, do you play Smash? Do you play, there's a game for, oh, there's a mode, oh, I like when you play the party, oh, he has a party mode, and then like, and on top of that, here's the thing, how much strength do you get, Jay? The fact that you know the fucking developer, that you're confident knowing like, oh no, anything, like, dude, if you played any fighter ever, it has a mode or a character that like you can sell that with confidence, right? So, and then other people who knows, but they can just say, oh, do you like fighting games? Oh, you're gonna like this. This is a new one coming out. And here's the final point.
Oh yeah, yep. Then this is one.
Exactly.
This is up your alley. Like, literally, that's what I'm saying. Is it's literally up your alley.
So you agree that
you like playing rival schools? This is the one for you.
Exactly. They can name because
and so I played Skullgirls. Like, I played a myriad of fighters.
So you agree that my approach of making it that every person who's ever played a fighter before, you will be comfortable playing this. That is one of my main approaches, right? You agree that is a super marketable thing, right?
Yes, it's the how though. It's the how it's done. Like like everything looks good on paper. It's the execution that really matters.
And like I said, so far I'm being like, okay, if you're an Naruto player, whatever, you guys are get dunked on by Tekken players. That's my balancing solution.
Yeah.
But that's not lying. At the end of the day, that's what the folks, like I said.
We're talking like no look, all full force, no baby oil, non-consensual. You're getting your ass handed to you on a silver platter. Shake my hand, GG's.
But at the end of the day, that's not what people are asking. You know, see, you
No,
can tell,
shake
like,
my
they're here
hand.
for a
You got
content.
Diddy's baby oil.
And here's the thing: the final one, you can even agree that it's like, what if you say this? It's only $40. how much more do you think people are more willing to hand over that credit card? It's like, oh, it's only $40.
That's another thing too. Yeah, because there's less risk to it.
Exactly.
It's a higher payout and less risk, and that also attracts people. Now, of course, depending on what's offered, people will still be able to do it because it's the investment part. It's like, I know Call of Duty is $70 before tax, but I know I'm going to enjoy it because it has A, B, and C.
Exactly.
And I'm familiar to it, and I've played the previous ones. It looked good. I've played a demo. It played good. Do I want to own a copy of this? Sure. I'm 100% down for it.
Yeah. So even then, like,
I don't mind.
So say I want to pick. So obviously, like I said, I thought before I want to pick a time where I know for sure. And again, I guess I would, like I said before, I even do a release date. It would be smarter to contact GameStop beforehand, so then they would more than likely suggest to me a good time release window, because I would obviously want to release when I know nothing else is big is being released, right?
Yeah, and that's like as you see in the store, like you seen our coming soon wall. Like there's so many games that people have never heard about, but they did enjoy because they, like, at least those development companies reach out to GameStop beforehand to put up their marketing for it.
Exactly.
So like it's still in our system. So like people can still look at it. So of course you need to, of course, get a video to, of course, demo, the actual thing. Like, so you know how when you go to my store and you see my screen up, like how there's, of course, the actual title for said game. It's in my POS, and if you click on it, of course, obviously you can look at a trailer for it to take a look at it. Sure. And of course, if people see it, if it looks good, if it looks interesting, it's the eye catcher. If you're catching people's eyes, catching their attention, that looks interesting. You know what? Yeah, I'll put that $5 down and reserve it.
Yeah, no, yeah. And see, here's the other thing too that I was thinking of too that you could agree is that obviously if I were to, once I would do that, the game would mostly be in a playable state and everything. But I know Street Fighter did. I don't know if you guys had it too, where they made it where they gave them an early copy of Street Fighter so people could actually play it at the GameStop. I thought that was a really good move on Capcom's end for SF5. I don't know why they didn't do it again with SF6.
I don't think I've seen that before. But...
Yeah, I mean, I would try to do. I mean, you guys only have a Switch kiosk though, right?
Yeah, we only have Switch kiosk.
See, again, better reason that I'm trying to also have a Switch port for it. So then you guys, like I said, like. I don't know. Like, so you say, oh man, you mentioned you being at the store. It's like, oh man, you guys want to try? There's a demo right there on the Switch one. It's like, oh, and it's only available. See, I would want to do enough things that are only GameStop exclusive to make the deal more enticing for GameStop. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're the only store over Best Buy, Walmart. No, you get it day one early if you pre-order it at GameStop, and GameStop's gonna be thirsty for that shit, and they get early access to a demo. Would you not agree that that entices the deal way more for GameStop?
Yes.
Plus, on top of that, it's just, I mean, you're good. Like you say, I actually am understanding marketing, business, and everything. And I like that, knowing what you're saying. It's like, I have the blueprints, the foundation, but I'm like, wait, you're telling me I don't even have to do past that the second I can get a deal struck with GameStop, which is nice. That means, okay, cool, I let them do their thing.
Yeah, because it's the sincerity. Like, a part of it is also knowing the product, knowing how to sell it, knowing who to approach, how to approach, but also it's the sincerity of it behind it. So, like, for example, have you played this game? No. So why the fuck would I trust anything that's coming out of your mouth? That kills everything I pitched. That's like me trying to sell you something to be like, oh yeah, this fruit does A, B, and C, and it goes well with it. I'm like, oh, what have you drunk with it? Oh, I've never used this like myself, but I'm like, yeah. So what the fuck are you telling me?
See,
how do I trust that your thing is real?
And that's why I think demos are super important to actually market your game as well.
So when I tell people about fighters, it's like literally, have you played fighters? Nigga, I love fighters so much. I spent $300 on a fucking fight pad. I've been whooping ass with it for the past 2 years. Yes, nigga, I've been playing fighting games for a long fucking time. Like back when back on Turbo on my brother's PS3.
So what you're telling me is, like, marketing aside, at the end of the day, it falls down when the person's selling. Like, basically, like how many people have not bought something because you told them, oh no, this game's ass? How many people have actually dead ass not bought something or were on the fence and didn't buy it because you straight up told them, like, oh yeah, I know this game is ass?
100%.
Yeah, see, so like,
yeah, because like that's the thing. People, it's not that I don't. It's funny that I say that too because I fall victim to that as myself. But people pay for convenience. They pay for enjoyment and convenience. And the other thing that people don't like doing, they don't like making decisions for themselves. At least most people do, because it's that idea of like, oh well, I've never seen this before. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Do I want to take this risk? Most likely no. And so therefore that's why with like any type of like GameStop, like even with the cards, right? Like GameStop cards, like the main thing about a GameStop card is to incentivize people coming back. So it guarantees that they are going to come back some point in time in the future. Whereas like with any other game, it's like, oh, do I really want to buy this game? Has anyone bought this? Have I seen the reviews? I've never played a game like this before. Am I really going to play it? No. But it's also the sincerity behind it, where it's like, I've also played these games and I've also bought a fight pad. I tell people that because it's like, oh, this nigga bought a $300 pad to play this $70 game. So if he's making that investment, surely he must know something. So I'm gonna ask him more questions. And if he says something about it, I'm probably gonna take his word for it because he's made a big investment and he's told me his turnout. So I know what my outcome is gonna be, and I most likely may enjoy it.
Yep.
Yeah. So if I tell people, like for example, with Concord, do you know how many people I've turned away from Concord?
Oh, good. No, I mean, dude, no.
I knew it wasn't gonna sell, and guess what happened?
Yep.
And when those regulars came back, guess what they said? He was like, "Oh man, y'all took it down." I'm like, "Yeah." Guess what happened? It didn't say. Yeah, you told me that. Yeah, exactly. I told you that. Yeah, you lucky. Hey, aren't you happy? I told you to put that $70 towards the Call of Duty. He's like, "How you like that Call of Duty, man? I played the beta, man. That shit was fun as hell when you did all that and do. Like, yeah, see, you're enjoying it. See, I want you to come back to my store because I know that JT is gonna. If I ask JT, is going to give me a sincere advice, and I know I'm going to be getting the best bang for my buck.
Exactly.
And even if I spend the money, I feel good about it because I know I am secure in my decision. Instead of it's that unsecure. It's like that. It's that people that like this like wishy-washy that don't like coming to work or I've never played this game or they just work at GameStop. Like you've never played a video game in your life. You know, hand me your keys, shake my hand. There's the door. It's like. If I was a store leader, I would never hire anybody that has never played a single video game in their life. Never.
But, you know.
Even if he's like, oh, but I worked at Best Buy. Like, nigga, you worked on the sales floor. Like, have you actually played a game of Street Fighter? Like, do you know what a charge move is? Have you done an FC? You know what that is? No. What's that? Yeah. A full circle. Yeah. You ever took that stick and wiggled it around in a circle to do a command grab? Do you know what an Oki is? It's like, do you know what an Oki is?
That's a Japanese demon, right?
Hell no.
No. I said Oki.
No, that's the joke that they respond. Like,
Oh.
is that a Japanese demon?
Hell no.
Yeah!
Regardless, thank you very much, Jay. So, like I said, that's not, like I said, further plans. So good to know that GameStop oddly has me in good hands. I plan. Like I said, I've been planning because I know what it takes.
It takes you got to know the people too. I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong. GameStop as a whole is fucked up. GameStop is a machine. We serve a machine. Exactly. Everybody knows that. From the DLs to the store leaders to the associates to the GAs, right? To everybody under it, we serve a machine. It's not a man that we're talking to.
We are the cogs of the internet.
And that's what I was saying too. Like outside of giving just GameStop money, what would I have to do? Would I have to go visit like local GameStops and actually be like, oh, this guy, and then talk to them personally, or just
because that pretty much determines on whether or not, like, of course, everyone's gonna, like, here's the thing: if you sell a game, everyone's gonna get marketing for it. Everyone. Now, some games may get more attraction in other areas. So, for example, in Hispanic communities, what's the 3 things that they play mostly in there?
Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball.
Look, anything Dragon Ball, anything FIFA,
yep,
or anything Pokemon when it comes to kids, or Call of Duty, and when it comes to kids, it's Pokemon. Funny enough, they fucking love Pokemon. Cards, games, all that shit, bro.
Yep.
And they
we
love
do?
that weird...
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Latinians.
I said
we do.
Oh, we don't. I mean, me and you don't.
No, I meant like our people. I
know, that's
do.
why I said yes. The initial, the first one, and you said we. You. Carry on.
Yeah. But especially in like when I was at, remember how I used to come to my other store before it closed down, 119th and Marshfield?
Yeah.
What's the 3 games that niggas buy? The only 3 games niggas buy:
2K,
Madden, MV2K, and Call of Duty.
Yep.
So what else falls into that?
Or Naruto or Dragon Ball. You already know homies love Naruto or Dragon Ball.
Well, yeah, but that's a small percentage though. And what's funny is that even a couple of regulars at my Crestwood location, right? Very, very few I know who who are in my community, but they play like Tekken or they play Street Fighter.
Oh, true, yeah.
But it's like 2 or 3.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's like it's even smaller when it comes to Japanese RPGs. Like even smaller.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's 2K and 2K and COD, bro. That's the big 2.
So like when someone asks about Elden Ring, right? Like, how do I sell a nigga that knows how to press square to shoot a ball on dodging enemy attacks with unpredictable hitboxes?
You don't.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly.
And that's fair. Like, yeah, there's some, like, for sure, I'm not trying to appeal to FIFA or any sports gameplay ever, because they're not gamers. The funny thing is people don't realize those aren't gamers. They're just normies who like sports.
Exactly. Just going back to your argument you said before, they're the normal audience. They are the majority. The majority. They don't know what the fuck they like. They know what's comfortable with them, and they know what's convenient for them. That's what they want to play. What's comfortable and convenient. What's convenient about 2K? You pick a team, you pick 5 niggas, you know how to shoot a ball, and you know how to steal. That's it.
And yeah. I'm only only right because I got to go to work. I just realized against the long one. But we were talking about earlier for working. Like, I think you were who was in here saying like, oh, the problem with optimization and the games can actually run smooth or something. Who was saying something? I forgot. Was it you, Jay, or Honorable that was talking about that, complaining how games just straight up can't run for some reason? And the same, I think Lint too was like, oh, ray tracing just doesn't even work. I was like, yeah, no, dude, it's fucking. You need a
it was
supercomputer.
honorable that said that games are optimized.
Unoptimized.
And I'm not saying games are. You're saying games aren't optimized.
Right.
Yeah, and then I chimed in. I'm like, that's because of fucking ray tracing. It's ray tracing's fault. You used to be able to play a game and the sky looks amazing and the water looks beautiful. Because
now
people
they
actually
took that
worked
shit
on
away.
that. Yeah, and now they made it so like the AI is generating those frames actively, which isn't. I'm not saying like that's not a feature that's pretty cool. I'm saying that it is pretty cool that yes, I can see my reflection in the mirror and the reflection of the ground inside the mirror. That is pretty cool. But what if you just did that?
Right.
So why didn't you pay someone to just do that? What happened to all those developers?
Right. Look, so you guys look at my screen right now, so I can show you guys. You're not even capping. So you guys, can you guys see what's on my screen right now?
Let me see.
Honorable, whatever, everyone. Like this, because I was like, remember, you guys are talking to a developer now. I can tell y'all.
I am. I thought I was talking to some dude who's like way over. He's like, I want to make a game. I'm gonna.
Anyways, this guy is called Thread Interactive. He actually talks about, and right now, there's one thing called nanite. It's like the ray tracing of meshes. And what this is, all you guys need to know in short is when you look at say you're looking at even in 2K, you're looking at your dude with the ball. The further the camera is from them, the less rendered it is. Nanite is a lazy man's way of actually doing it, and that's why ray tracing and things like nanite are what I call lazy man's. Like I said, AI script. They're actually scripts. We don't use the term AI because now we're actually developers. That's why you never hear the term AI and for the most part we're ray tracing and even things like nanite because it's scripts. AI means artificial intelligence means it's something that's on its own. So we actually use technical correct terms, and these are scripts. And the funny thing is, they'll say things, oh, whatever. And this dude goes into, I found out why games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat have an input problem or whatever. It's because the more, you guys see this demo before with the rocks and all that bullshit, right? The more you add features like nanite, ray tracing, every single time you do this, you get 1 millisecond extra minimum of lag every time. And they're pushing this. So imagine you're like, okay. And like I said, with the mirrors, we already had this in Hitman. Oh my God, look. And here's a simple trick. Here's what developing used to be, and it's not anymore. It's finding ways to trick people to thinking that it's the real thing. What did they do? Let's get the character model that we have and make a mirror of it that basically everywhere you go, okay, it's whatever. And only that opposite shows up when you go in a mirror. And it's a low poly version you made yourself. But with nanite and ray tracing, you are now destroying half of your CPU with ray tracing and nanite. Look at this. This is 90 FPS. If you manually did the work, but because let me go click ray tracing. By the way, literally ray tracing is just a check mark. You just check. All right, let's go home. But now your game literally runs at 24 FPS. So you guys aren't lying. Developers are genuinely lazy. And like I said, if you got like, I fuck with the engine. Look at all this shit.
In this video, I'm going to show you.
Do any of you know what half that bullshit means? Do you know what this means?
Nope.
I do. I have to. Look at all this. Every single one. And see, there's a priority list. You guys see? This is a priority of everything that's adding more lag. And this is, I love that I figured this out the other day. And I always, anything that adds more than one, I either tweak or I get rid of it completely. That's been my mindset. And the problem is developers, you see this line, how he's being smart. Okay, everything's in the low. Bro, developers will be like, this will be like average. You see fives, like, oh, 5, 6. And then before you know it, the minimum lag they have is like 35. And by the way, this is me being generous. This is before ray tracing and nanite. And that's why even when the game runs smooth or 60, it still does it. And this is why we have hitches and shit. Developers are genuinely lazy. And on top of it, like I said, these companies, they want AI, and they don't understand it. Like, yeah. And in the sense, you say it's nice. Like, okay, see, this is Lumen. Lumen is basically baby's version of ray trace. But look at how there's no style, too. So all of that image you see, it's overbloated. I can't like I try to run this scene on even my GPU. It fucking like it tweaks. Like this is too much. And look at how there's no art. There's absolutely like, okay, cool, you have the sun, whatever, but like, and like you said, look at the picture. Is this like, it doesn't look that much better? Like imagine if, like, good example, what if I added like a shadow on her back? What if I added shadows here? Do you not agree that this image would look better? And all I had to do is manually draw in the shadows. That's called bake lighting. And this is the problem. We've gotten good at bake lighting, but well, people don't want to do that. Even like you said, we have 1,000 developers. Do something with them. Like, this is what's crazy to me. Like, you guys have 1,000 people and your game still takes this long. And like I said, because they have bloated shit, it doesn't work. And it's all stupid. And look at this. This is what I'm saying to me. Why is 120 FPS not the standard? Because of shit like this. This is why we never... Good example. You guys remember the famous thing that happened with Arkham City, right? That it was 30 FPS. You remember this, right, Jay?
Which for Arkham City?
Yeah, right. Where it was 4 players and they had the Bat family.
You mean Gotham Knights?
Whatever, it's all the same shit to me, right? Arkham, Gotham.
No, nice man.
But you get right. That's a huge reason a lot of people do about. And they remember that their quote was, "Oh, we can't get rid of ray tracing." They were lying and not lying. The truth is, they don't know how to get rid of ray tracing. And me as someone, this is what I did: is I was not afraid. The problem is, like you said, people are comfortable. These developers aren't comfortable messing with the settings in Unreal, and I did. I literally found, and I'm like, wait, ray tracing is just a check mark. And the funny thing is, I got rid of it. Now it didn't enable ray tracing, and that's why my FPS was so fucking garbage. It's enabled by default. So part of it is Unreal's problem. This guy treats Unreal that they push too many of these features that are too easy for developers to just use. You have to go out of your way to be like, okay, let me go ray tracing off. Then you have to sometimes for Lumen and even Nanite, you have to manually right click, no click. And then you have to go into the main settings. Because now, okay, so you guys saw the frames I saw earlier. It's not spiking at 1, but it's still reading it. It's like the engine is like, are you using ray tracing or no? That's still wasting time. So I go to the main thing and go, there is no ray tracing whatsoever. I have to literally manually clear everything down from the check mark to the settings to actually individual item. That way, like even though nothing's happening, it's not simply going like the computer isn't wasting even a single millisecond being like, is it ray tracing on or off? On or like, no, it doesn't. The engine is like, what's ray tracing? That's what I want my engine to do, right? And that's why some people say having your own engine is better because now it's bloat. That's the thing that you guys know about Unreal. Yeah, that's what they mean by bloat. There's a lot of features that you as a developer won't use, right? Like if you're a 2D, if you're making rip-off Paper Mario, you're not using probably 90% of Unreal's features. A good example, destructible environments. What if you make a game that doesn't have any? That's just bloat. You know, that's things that's going to be bloating up the size even of the game, like the engine. But luckily for me, I am making a mainstream type that appeals to everybody. I am using most of the features that do matter, right? Baking, lighting, destructibles, this, that, inputs, whatever. But I'm not using Nanite and fucking, like I said, I'd rather your guys' game run at 120, steady, and with no frame drops. Because ain't no one trying to do a quarter circle and the game fucks up and Honorable yells, Capcom! You know, so yeah, you guys aren't, this is what I want to tell you guys. Gamers, we've been so right for so long, and developers, you don't know how well it is to make a game. Homie, I'm making a game. The gamers are right. You guys are lazy. You guys are not talented. Your shit is bloated. You really do need to optimize. You guys are untalented, lazy fucks. And part of it is, no, seriously, it is the developers. It's not just the companies. The companies are the ones pushing the easy stuff. They want things to be pushed in the time, this and that. And the problem is, see, this is the raw part, right? They'll use Nanite, ray tracing, and then they'll be like, oh my god, they got this whole map down. See, they'll see this, right? They'll see this. Oh my god, it looks great. Whatever. They don't know anything, right? They don't give a shit about the FPS. They're like, oh my god, let's see. And now they want you to make the same map. You made it in a day, and now they expect you to make like 10 maps in like a month, which is stupid. It takes literally, like, dude, like I said before, I took an entire week just to model something, and I wasn't fucking happy with it. A week, like, this is literally where I can't stress enough. Development, days are hours in development, bro. This is why they take so fucking long. And these things like ray tracing and NN are being pushed because and this is what's even crazier. You guys are having the tools to push things, yet your games are still taking forever and millions of dollars, which is even crazier to me. And yet somehow, like I said, Spider-Man 2 is the biggest example. What can I do besides just play story mode? There's nothing else to do. There is no fucking content. There is no online. There is no co-op. Most useless $70 fucking dollars you could ever spend. You know? I mean, I don't know. This is coming from as a developer, and you guys know, like I said, by the way, you can see some of these that, I was already halfway watching them. But yeah, and the thing is, in a lot of good Unreal tutorial videos, see, most of these are telling you how to optimize. They're telling you, okay, how can we get the same look, but it not running like garbage? Like literally, and even see, this is the one I watched. Look, 1 million views. See how why optimization works, but for the wrong reason, shit like that. It talks about LOD, whatever. See, like this is what you have to manually do. You have to make the same asset, but make it low poly every single time. And the funny thing is, Unreal already has tools for you to do this. It already gives you the tools to manually do it, and then you have to control the parameters. But no. Let's be lazy. Let's just use nanite. Let's just use ray tracing. Like, we already have good lighting. We already have lighting technology that existed in the PS3. It was revolutionary in the PS2 where, oh, you see this light bulb? The light moves with the bulb. Like, that was a crazy thing in Fear, if I'm not recall. But now, oh, no, that's not good enough. We need ray tracing. So that's my rant as a fucking developer on one games run like shit. It is 100% their fault. Like, I can make a game, like I said, look like this, but better, and it runs at 120. It just takes, oh, I just have to actually put in work now. Oh, crazy fucking idea. I don't know, dude. Like I said, I'm not the greatest developer of all time. I never wanted to be one, but you guys clearly suck so much dick. I said, fuck it, I'll do it myself. But there you go, Jay. What are your thoughts seeing a bit of development? Mind you, a little bit. It's very complicated. I'm not even bullshitting you. I'm not explaining all the intricacies, but you got more or less what I was saying, right? So you're right. Like, you're right. Like, so developers are gaslighting y'all into taking. No, gamers don't know how. Like, they don't have. Like I said, quoting Vile. I don't have to make movies to know when a movie sucks. Am I not wrong, Mar or Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what are your thoughts?
But those who've been in the game, for example, like Tarantino, who makes like goated ass movies, it's because they know how lighting works. They know how point, like they know field of view. They know perspective also matters.
Thank you.
In storytelling, because it makes it feel more realistic, and it gets people more invested just by looking at it.
And you say
looks
that. Oh, sorry to cut you off. And I said that in the Silent Hill when I was talking about Silent Hill, the reimagining, why it's not as good, is that's something that, again, when you are a director of a video game, you have to know about things like Dutch angles. How much money you want to bet that a single director, or even anybody in the Silent Hill team, knew what a Dutch angle is? Clearly they didn't, because there's not a single one in the reimagining. And like you said, that's super important. Anyways, carry on, as you were saying. And I know
that's pretty much all it is.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Being a developer is hard. It really fucking is, because it's not just simply. It's not even the code. The funny thing is, the actual work is not the hard part. It's the artistic part that's the hardest, bro. That's the actual hard part, bro. When it comes to the drawing, okay, how does, saying like, yeah, I might draw this and that, but how is it gonna look at the end? Like right now, I'm struggling with model. I'm not gonna talk about the secret project because I haven't released the trailer for it. There's a model I'm working on, a specific character, and she's going for a super anime look. I'm like, okay, she looks this way in Blender, but how's she gonna look once I actually put in the engine? Okay, how does she look like under this lighting, this and that? How does it? That's the hard part of development, honestly, is the artistic part of it.
And you know what's funny about it? And I think like the Miles Morales movie actually played into that, because it's like very like
good movie,
they're very, very like into that, like the mechanics of filmmaking of any type of design. Whereas like you could use
I'll see
that
y'all later.
weakness.
I'm about to go to bed.
No problem. Take care, big dog. You can use that weakness to your advantage. So for example, instead of saying it's like not every character has to look good in the same light. What if you make that an entire characteristic of them?
Yes.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no,
so you can use that
to your advantage.
Yeah, so you use limitations. So it's like if this one specific character looks like very, very, like for example, let's say you had you have an anime character, but you had a vaporwave feel to her, right?
Yep.
A lot of her colors are mellow, they blend nicely, and she's very pretty, but she's also very nice to look at. She's not hard on the eyes. She's not like your typical anime girl. She's a vaporwave anime girl. So you want to look at her. You want to have her in your eyes. And you can use that. You could use that to your advantage. And you can also say like, oh well, she has a vaporwave is usually known for like being paired with a lot of retro technology, retro mechanics. So you can make it so like a lot of her abilities have a retro feel, like glitching or like that haze that some TVs have. You can make it so like for her smears have a haze instead of a very vibrant attack pattern. Where like all the Mishimas have electrics, that's for sure. like all the Mishimas know for sure they have electrics, but each electric is different in their own way, and it gives them character to that. So you can play into that. Just an idea I'm kind of throwing out there. Because if you're having so like,
I need to take down notes for this character. Gotcha.
Yeah, so like what you say, like your character is good. It's like what you're looking at as flaws may not be flaws, but just characteristics.
And that's something. And you know what's crazy? You say this and it's beautiful because a lot of the modern developers have it so easy. They don't use limitations. That's why I literally limit myself. I am pretending I'm developing for PS1. That's my limitation. I force myself to be creative.
But it makes it good because damn near everything can use it now. It'll run on everything.
Exactly. So that's one of the reasons. By the way, my game will also be on mobile. So that's a.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing: we have games like Genshin Impact. Say what you will about it, mediocre, but it looks good, and it's on mobile.
It looks good. It's okay. Yeah, it looks good, and your phone can handle it.
Exactly.
Your phone can handle it.
And mobile, and you can agree, mobile market is fucking huge. It's fucking huge.
And even if you look at the 2 different Call of Duties, people were making comparisons about that too. Modern Warfare 3 and Call of Duty mobile guns, the animations are 2 different things. Modern Warfare 3 goes for detail, and then mobile goes for aesthetic, like looks. So like the aesthetics looks really good. Like, oh, this gun will literally transform into an arm cannon like Mega Man, and it'll transform back when you inspect it, right? But for the inspection for like one of the guns in Modern Warfare 3, oh, you take out the crystal, it looks nice and it's shiny, but the detail is there. There's not much going on, but you can see the detail.
Right.
Whereas like on mobile, that's not like too much detail, but you can see everything that's going on. There's a lot going on, which catches your eye. It still keeps your attention.
Yeah, no, and at the end of the day, an art style will stick out far more than just graphics. And on an iPhone, like I said, Genshin Impact is a very anime heavy game. You know, it's not like
look at Cyberpunk. Look at not only Cyberpunk, but Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. It's like it's the spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio, and I fucking love that game. If you've never played like a Jet Set Radio game, it's like a perfect game to get into.
Right.
I love the aesthetic. I love the retro feel. I love the hip hop aesthetic, and it plays into it. Each character has their own theme to them, and they play into that, bro. I love it. With Red with the big ass TV head, he reminded me so much of Conti from Fully Cooley, and I love those type of characters. Those very weird characters, but they have very distinctive elements to them that plays into their personality as well. I love that. But you know, like I'm actually very excited for what you're doing. I'm love hearing you talking about it. And I have high hopes for you, sir.
Hey, look, like I said, man, hopefully by the end of the year, I do plan to make an announcement for the fan game. Like, there's a reason I keep saying this, you guys. Like, it's a fan game of a popular-ish IP, something. But again, big secret. And until I reveal the trailer, that's my first project. They always recommend you work on a smaller project first. And every now and then, like you see, I'm working on composing music and other stuff for my main title. But I need to get my feet wet. I need to prove that I can make a traditional fighter first. That's what I'm saying. Right now, I'm making a 5D game, which is this is what it's called. Right? 5D. It's when it's Tekken, but it has elements of Street Fighter. Like, okay, yeah, we can sidestep and stuff, but we still have fireballs, quarter circles, and shit like that. So basic games would be like Rival Schools, Naruto, the Wii ones, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, right? They have 3D. It's Tekken and Street Fighter shook hands, and I'm like, okay, here we go, right? And like I said, I will explain what the idols again. The fan game is, and that's where I test a lot of things out. It's where I test again. The first game is never going to be this. So it's like, oh, let me work on a fan game. It's going to be a small roster, you know, condensed. Like I said, always work on a small project. Right now, there is a game I'm halfway done, right? And I'm releasing it on Roblox, by the way. So I'm using some beta test stuff, right? And again, that's already on everything. Roblox, by the way, is a really good engine, actually. Roblox project, I might do 1 or 2 because those are easier to do, and these are for the game modes, by the way, you guys. I'm testing all the game modes I want to put in, right? These are practice runs, and then from there, the fan game is gonna give me some practice, and then maybe get some people to be like, okay, they like the fan game, like, damn, you know, this guy cooked with this fan game. Oh wait, he's actually making a full-fledged, like, oh shit, you know. And like I said, I know, again, same with marketing, is you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You gotta slowly roll that shit out, get people to get hyped, you know. That's another. Again, I keep being very vague to most of you guys back watching this, and you guys can tell I show music, this and that, clips and that, but I have to keep things on the down low. Even though it's easy, trust me, it's very tempting. You can ask Honorable anyone I talk to. I give lore, this and that, but then like, you know, some of especially when lore, that's spoilers, right? Okay, I'm spoiling parts of the story, and then some of this is not final. Things can change, right? But the thing is, I miss the days. This is my mentality too. Is remember when you bought a game for fucking Atari and all you had was a cover, and that's all you had, bro. I kind of want to mimic a little bit of that style with my game, but only to a degree, right? Like obviously before the release comes, GameStop. Oh, here's the trailers, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Everything gets hit right at the last push, and Nintendo does this, and that's why their marketing is absolutely excellent. Unlike other games where by the time before the game even comes out, you already know what it's like, and this game's trash. I'm not touching that shit. You know? But yeah,
man. I'm sure you said it. You gotta get.
Yeah. I mean, we're good wrapping thing. I mean, hopefully you enjoyed the dev stuff, Jay. I haven't talked too much about it.
This went from a podcast to a 2-hour dev talk.
No, it was not 2 hours. It was like an hour.
Thank you everyone for coming to my conference. This was the details about how you market.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a bonus reward for those who really stick around with the Vibecast, which, by the way, big shout out to you guys. I know Kuro, you're so definitely watching.
We had like I don't know, like 5 or 6 people, and then it started like dwindling down all the way to 3 people.
It's fine, it's whatever. But yeah.
It's funny. It's like how long the podcast lasts.
True. But again, like I said, I'm glad Jay big thanks again. Shout out to you for the whole marketing talk and same with the deving. And because like again, this is by the way, I'm still gonna be on because you guys are. I know I could talk while I work, but most of like, hey, let's wrap things. And I'm gonna have to make this in like 3 parts actually. One where we get all the serious stuff and some people, and then the gaming stuff, and then the
and then dev talk.
bonus. Yeah, exactly. That's bonus dev talk. You know.
Dude, I just gotta say, we're wrapping up, right? Because like,
yes, for sure.
The whole thing, like I said, that fucking meme where like every month is a new pedophile, and then for this month is the fucking Pokemons from Game Freaks.
Yeah, that's you know what? Yeah, they are they're the one for this
Wait,
one.
Pokemon are actually like what?
No, remember the Game Freak leak?
Freaky.
Oh yeah, you weren't here. We were talking about that. They got leaked. That there are a bunch of weirdos. The people.
Dude, there was
Pokemon.
terabytes of leaks.
Anyways, this has been Greatest Gamer 00, your favorite FGC chibi, honorable.
Fire honorable, stay fashionable, and I will see you on the next episode.
Jay, do you have an outro? If not,
No, not really.
Okay, that's right.
JJ.
Nice, man. But as always, thank everybody for listening, and it's been a pleasure to slice of heaven.
Yep, and of course, shout outs to Mar, Gaming Beast, Legend of Chicago, and Detective Vile, and Lynn. There you go. Oh, I was about to disconnect.